Russia has renewed attacks on a city near the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant.
Emergency teams work in the dark to clear debris and extinguish fires early on Tuesday. It was the second consecutive night glide bomb attack on the city, damaging residential buildings and critical infrastructure, according to local authorities. The governor of Zaporizhzhia, Oblast Ivan Fedorov, says Monday's attack was the first time glide bombs targeted the city since the war began. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
The powerful sister of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has vowed to boost the country's nuclear war capability and take other steps to protest the recent arrival of a U.S. nuclear-powered submarine in South Korea. North Korea has repeatedly vowed to expand its nuclear arsenal, but today's threat by Kim Yo-jong came after North Korea dialed up regional tensions, unveiling a uranium enrichment facility. Townhall.com. A lot of Americans can still be considered obese.
Research by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says that 40% of Americans are obese. That's roughly the same rate as 10 years ago. But Solveig Cunningham, a global health professor at Emory University, says severe obesity is growing.
We are seeing important increases in the proportion of Americans that are affected by severe obesity, which is obesity at a BMI of 40 or higher.
Cunningham says it's too soon to tell if newer obesity drugs such as Wegovy and Zepbound are effective. She says the goal is to prevent obesity in childhood. I'm Donna Warder.
California Governor Gavin Newsom has signed a law requiring school districts to restrict student phone use. The move means that California joins Florida, Louisiana, Indiana, and some other states passing legislation limiting student device access. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Welcome to it.
Yeah.
Second day of the rest of your life.
Yeah, got a warm one today.
Another chilly morning, which I absolutely love.
Oh, it's in the 60s.
Yeah.
61.
It's nice. It was 54 when I got in my car this morning. That's just nice.
Yeah, it's fall mornings. Still feels a little summery for the afternoon. We'll be in the 90s, 91 again today. So. But happy Tuesday, everybody. Hope everybody is doing well.
Yes.
I'm progressing nicely with my cold. It's going well.
I was going to
get my butt kicked.
Did you, was it a sleepless night?
Sleep in intervals. I was up every couple hours, packing, going to the bathroom, getting sick. So, yeah.
See, this is when I find, especially when on weeks that I don't have my kids and I'm not feeling well or I'm not sleeping well, this is when I have the chance to experiment. It's like when you have a partner, you kind of like, you need to be in this one spot.
Yeah.
But if you don't have a partner, you can go crash in a recliner. You could sleep on the floor if you find a comfy spot.
This is true.
I mean, it really, you got to kind of like shop around a little bit.
Yeah.
And you got some cozy spaces in your place.
Yeah, that's true. But I just, but I'd fall asleep here and then I'd wake up having a coughing fit or have to go to the bathroom.
Found Mike covered up by a shower curtain in the drop bathtub.
Well, and then I'd be like hot in 1 minute and freezing the next, and it's just, I'm having a rough day or two of it here, so I'm going to muddle through today again and get through it. But
power through this the morning part. At least I can handle the back half of it. So.
There was a beautiful football game on last night.
Yeah, that was quite the performance.
There was a lot of people that woke up this morning and said, "Oh, dang, the Commanders might actually be a good football team." Jaden Daniels put on a clinic last night against Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, the score would not indicate that. The score is, I think it was 36-33, the final.
Yeah, it was pretty tight. It was tight.
That does not – the Commanders were up by multiple scores for a good points of that game. The Bengals rallied at the end there a little bit, but Washington's defense still needs work. Now, all granted, Cincinnati's got an offense. They have an offense. So to the Commanders' credit, it could have been worse. But the offense is amazing. Again, this is something this is like when you play Madden football on the computer, like stats this guy's doing. And what I mean by that is he literally has not. The Washington offense has not punted the football in 2 entire football games.
That's incredible.
They didn't punt at all against the Giants last week, and nobody punted last night in the Bengals game.
Wow.
No turnovers once again.
Oh, wow.
They say what you want about Jaden. The man is doing things that rookies don't do. He's protecting the football, and he threw some dimes. I mean, everyone kept, there's been a knock like Terry McLaurin hadn't done anything all year. Last night he did something.
Right. I'm just saying, quarterback's only as good as his best receiver.
Well, Jaden Daniels is elevating that team, and they're coaching him up right. And Cliff Kingsbury, I think, is doing a great job working with him and all that. And I'm seeing that guy grow each and every week. And if they can keep this guy healthy, Patrick Mahomes, number 2, man.
That's the scary part, though.
Yeah.
Is can he stay healthy for the season?
He's so far so good. He's doing it. He's taking some shots, but he's
young too,
and he's sliding, and he's trying to take care of himself. So at the end of the day, you got to play. You got to let the eggs out of the cart and let them do their thing. But I'm telling you, if he can stay healthy and doesn't have major health issues, career, those types of things, dude's Patrick Mahomes again. I think we got another Patrick. He's going to be right in that conversation with those guys every single year. He's just does the right thing.
It's like I said, you had to kind of crack back to the egg analogy,
and he's humble.
Had to crack a few eggs to make an omelet, and that's key too. Especially if you're a young player, just kind of coming in first a couple of years, you got to be humble. Keep it low key. Like you're something.
Yeah, he takes zero credit. He does all the things you're supposed to do.
Nice
as a quarterback.
Nice
team first, but I see him. I see what he's doing. He's out there running, and I don't like that he runs as much as he does. But that's what he is. Also, at the same time, what allows him to throw the 50-yard dime is also the same that allows him to go scramble for 10 yards, even though you probably could have dumped that off. But and he'll get better at that as he gets mature.
Yeah,
but
it's all about watching your backfield, seeing who you got open. And,
reading your defenses. But I'm telling you, the kid's got the stuff, and I have never been this excited about a Washington player since Joe Gibbs in the 80s was coaching this team.
Get that boy some ballet classes. Yeah. So we know he can plie and
Oh, no, he may not need them. I saw him make a few Bengals look stupid with some juke moves last night. That one guy, I think, still picking up his shorts off the field. He made him look pretty bad. But I just can't believe how good this team is looking right now. And I'm just like I was excited about the direction, but I didn't think we would see this. This quick. That defense still needs work, but Jaden Daniels and the progress of him, it's way ahead of the curve right now. I'm just way impressed.
And I think that he knows that the onus is on him, that this is the put up or shut up season.
Yeah, but here's the difference. This organization's putting people around him. They've got a nice mix of veteran leadership. Like Zach Ertz, they brought him in just literally to be the veteran leadership for now Zach Ertz is still contributing, not like he used to, but he got a couple good catches last night, but he's a locker room presence. He's a guy that's in Jaden's ear telling him about, because, say what you want about Zach Ertz, he's a pro's pro.
Sure.
And now you got Terry McLaurin in there. And then, of course, on defense, they brought in Bobby Wagner, and they really brought in veteran leadership to mix with these young guys. And they've got our locker room, man. And they got a coach that, and the coach has got them in a position where they're ready to go through a wall for him.
I would argue that's the hardest part too, is the mental game behind the physical. The physical can get done no matter what, but
that's what I'm saying. This locker room's right.
It's getting your mind around the locker room, around the season itself, around the tour schedule.
This is something I've not seen with this organization in a long, long time, and it's like, wow, this is what it feels like to like good teams like the Patriots and
oh my God, this is what it's like to be a fan of a winning team. Yeah, I know it's rough though, because eventually, your team racks up enough, and then you just, you look stupid.
I mean, it's games. You're going to lose them. You're gonna, but man, it's sure nice to know that your team's not destined for, 6-10 or
right,
whatever. So it's just nice.
It is.
Sorry, I got winded.
No, you're good. And overall, just generally not a great season for the Cowboys. I'm going to call that a win for an NFL season so far. Kendrick Lamar at the Super Bowl. I mean, this is going to be good. By the way, this is kind of off topic, but have you been following the whole Diddy thing?
I mean, I know he's in jail, and I know he's not denied bail, and he's in that prison in New York where Epstein was in. Yeah. Apparently,
though, it goes a lot deeper than just Diddy.
Well, I know there's like ushers now. Like I saw a thing that he's deleting all his tweets, and there's celebrities that are kind of like, my stuff's about to blow up too.
Well, yesterday, this is what I was greeted with was my best friend Misty was telling me, she's like, do you know Nelly is missing?
Nelly's missing?
Nelly is missing. He said he was going to go do like a tell-all interview about like pulling everything out, like Suge Knight, Jay-Z, revealing the whole like underground scheme.
Yeah.
Now nobody can find Nelly.
Really?
Yeah, they've looked all over St. Louis, nowhere. I mean, they cannot locate Nelly.
Interesting.
So he's either in hiding or something happened.
Are we going to get the video of him in a darkened room with the face? This is Nelly. I am from an undisclosed location.
I am an anonymous. It's like, I am an anonymous confessor of all these things, and he just still has the Band-Aid on it.
And I love Frosted Flakes. They're great.
Hold on, I've always wanted to do this. Low and outside a Gutierrez.
But that is a popcorn worthy story to watch.
I can't wait to see what
that thing unravels.
What docudramas come all out of this one.
I got a feeling there will be some more people that get exposed.
Yes, and I mean, as with the Epstein, as with the Ghislaine Maxwell, it all comes out in the wash.
Yep, absolutely, and then it'll blow up, and then we'll forget about it. And some of these people have careers again at some point.
That's true. That's true. I feel like R. Kelly still has a chance on the back half of this. He just has to kind of like, let some of those allegations kind of lay low a little while.
Well, he's still in jail, right?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, he's not getting out
for like 100 years.
Yeah, he's not getting out anytime soon.
I think he's doing like 3 lives. 3 lifetimes.
I didn't know if he's going to come out parole in like 2037 or something like that. I didn't know. But let me give you the rundown for today's show. We're going to replay an interview this hour with Ray Baca talking about the Golden Gloves Hall of Fame awards admittance dinner that's coming up this weekend at the Roswell Convention Civic Center. We'll play that interview for you here. We'll talk Eastern New Mexico State Fair in the 8 o'clock hour. Sal Aguilar will join us to talk entertainment at next week's Eastern New Mexico State Fair. And then we got a full slate for you in the 9 o'clock hour. Amy McVeigh-Teas and John LeMay will join us from the Historical Society talking about their historic book fair coming up in October. And we'll also have Leslie Robertson join us talking about the parade, fair parade as well, too, in the 9 o'clock hour. So we'll do all of that.
Fun stuff.
And then whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. But first, let's take a gander at your weather. And kind of boring, just like 90 and sunny and nice.
Boring, I'll take.
Yeah.
After the hell that was the last 2 months, I'll take boring.
There you go. So little warm, little cool, little sunshine, not too much rain.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We've got high pressure setting up over the Four Corners, and that'll be covering our area for the next few days. Pretty warm today, upper 80s and low 90s. Should be sunny through the day. Overnight will be clear, our low dropping to 60, and then we'll be in the upper 80s for the high again on Wednesday, and sunny. Warming up a little bit on Thursday. We're back in the low 90s and then upper 80s on Friday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 61 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 70%. Winds are calm at the moment. Sunny and 91 for a high today. Winds will be out of the northeast at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Clear tonight. Expect an overnight low of 58 degrees. Northeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Wednesday, sunny, 87 for a high. North winds at around 5 miles per hour. Thursday, sunny, 92 for a high, south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, sunny and 91 for a high. And then looking at the weekend, sunny and 89 for Saturday, sunny and 92 for Sunday. And then low 90s, 91 Monday of next week. So, yep, looks like just low 90s, upper 80s. That's pretty much the MO for at least the next week or so here. All right, 7:19, we're going to get you into your Grown and Ballard remembrance for this morning, your Roswell Livestock Report recap as well. Quick break, and then on the other side, we'll play our interview with Ray Baca talking about the Golden Gloves New Mexico Hall of Fame induction ceremony coming up this weekend. Don't go away.
Ballard Funeral Home and Crematory and LaGrone Funeral Chapel have been celebrating life for over 90 years. Ballard Funeral Home and Crematory celebrates and remembers Donald Burden Sr. passed away September 14th. Rosary will be Saturday, October 5th, 9:30 a.m. at St. Peter's Catholic Church, with Mass following the Rosary at 10 a.m. at St. Peter's Catholic Church. Virginia Gibson passed away September 14th. Visitation is Monday, September 23rd, 4 to 7 p.m. at Ballard Funeral Home. Rosary will be Tuesday, September 24th, 9:30 a.m. at St. Peter's Catholic Church, with Mass following the Rosary at 10 a.m. at St. Peter's Catholic Church. Letty Lee Bagwell passed away September 15th. Visitation is Saturday, September 28th, 10 a.m. at Ballard Funeral Home. Service following visitation at 1 p.m. at Ballard Funeral Home. Elizabeth Stefano passed away September 8th. No services are scheduled at this time. Oturo Ornelas passed away September 16th. Visitation is Sunday, September 22nd from 4 to 9 p.m. at Ballard Funeral Home. Rosary to follow Sunday, September 22nd, 6 to 7 p.m. at Ballard Funeral Home. Kelly Keith passed away September 9th. Graveside service will be Thursday, September 26th, 10 a.m. at McBride Veteran Cemetery. LaGrone Funeral Chapel celebrates and remembers Peter Morris, passed away September 9th. Visitation will be Monday, September 23rd, 10 a.m., with service following the visitation, 11 a.m. at LaGrone Funeral Chapel. John Groover passed away September 11th. No services are scheduled at this time. And Joanne Worthington passed away September 12th. No services are scheduled at this time. This has been today's remembrance, brought to you by Ballard Funeral Home and Crematory and LaGrone Funeral Chapel.
At Richland Motors, it's never been easier to sell or trade your current car, truck, or SUV for a newer model to hit the road in. Even if you don't purchase from Richland, they want to buy your vehicle for top dollar. But if you do buy from Richland, don't forget, they're the home of the powertrain warranty for life. That's a whole lot of confidence for you. See Richland for details. 2nd and Sycamore and 1309 Southeast Main.
At Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium, we honor and pay tribute to the achievements of your loved one by celebrating the life you shared together. Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium is compassionate and cares about our local community and the families we serve here in southeastern New Mexico. Locally owned and operated, we will be here to help you decide how to celebrate the bond you've shared and pay tribute to the unique individual you've lost. Visit us at 2609 South Main in Roswell or call 622-5888.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. 1,279 head of cattle sold on Monday on an uneven market with excellent buyer attendance. Compared to last week on value-added cattle, stocker calves 4 to 8 higher, feeder cattle 6 to 10 higher, packer cows and bulls steady to 10 lower, 3 to 400 pound steers 325, 362, 3 to 400 pound heifers 281, 302, 4 to 500 pound steers 283 and a quarter, 4 to 500 pound heifers 262, 281, 5 to 600 pound steers 264, 280, 5 to 600 pound heifers, $236, $262. 6 to 700 pound steers, $245, $264. 6 to 700 pound heifers, $235, $236. 7 to 800 pound steers, $231, $245. 7 to 800 pound heifers, $218, $235. Packer cows, $115, $121. Canner and cutter cows, $108, $112. Feeder bulls or Packer bulls, $140, $146. Feeder bulls, $120, $124. Top half the cow-calf pairs, $2,000 to $2,350 per pair. Top half the bred cows, $1,500 to $2,000 per head. Now remember, this is the top of the market, and prices range down from this according to quality, quantity, condition, and feel. We do appreciate the business. We'll talk to you next Monday morning. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. U-Haul is the world's largest advertiser in the Yellow Pages. Too bad millennials don't know what the Yellow Pages are. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 21 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, talk some Golden Gloves boxing. Ray Baca back with us. Good morning, Ray.
Good morning, Mike. How are we doing today?
Doing great. How about yourself?
Busy, but good. It's a good thing.
It is a good thing. We got, of course, obviously, when we the big events for Golden Gloves, when we have our boxing events, like we just had this past April here or March.
March, that's correct, March.
And but this time of year is the time where we honor the legends of New Mexico boxing.
That's correct.
The people that have devoted probably in most cases, probably their lives to boxing in New Mexico.
That's very true, Mike. I'm very fortunate to some of these guys that were honoring. I worked with a couple of them because I'm one of the older guys.
You're one of those legends, Ray.
I wouldn't classify myself
living walk legend, but a legend for boxing. Sure. I mean, I would argue that we have it here because of yourself. And like you.
That's true as far as now is concerned, but it's not me. There's a lot of people, and a lot of people before that, like the Sam Gallups, the Willie Halls, the Jim Lillies, the Flores, those guys. They're the ones that made, and we're just kind of following behind.
Sure, but you're also setting the table for the next generation.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
You know what I mean? That's because I'm going to guess 20 years from now there'll be people like us talking. They'll be talking about guys like yourself and some of these people we're honoring this weekend or here in the 28th year.
That's correct. What we have is the New Mexico Boxing Hall of Fame.
Yes.
It's going to be held on the 28th of September here in Roswell.
Yeah, Saturday night.
Saturday night at the Convention Center, 6 p.m. This year we're on. We've got. I'm going to start off with Lifetime Achievement Award.
Okay.
Which is Juan Nunez.
Okay.
We're going to be honoring Juan. Juan is formerly of Roswell, but he currently lives in Albuquerque.
Okay.
After he left here, went to college, went into the service, retired as a colonel in the United States Army, and has been in a lot of different capacities throughout the state. As a State Board Commission, Hall of Fame, Golden Gloves, former fighter himself, and official. So we're going to honor him.
That's amazing he resume inside and outside of the boxing community.
That's correct. Matter of fact, when the name was brought up, we brought up the name, and there was like 6 of us voting, and we brought his name up, and it was like, well, there wasn't even a vote job. Put him in.
He was that unanimous, kind of like George Washington that first time. Just pick that guy. He's good.
Exactly. And then we have Legacy Promotions. Legacy Promotions. The founders Aaron Pettis, Jordan Pettis, Gabriel Carlin, and Eric Martinez, and they're out of Albuquerque.
Okay.
Here recently, they had a card of. Actually, they've done like 25 professional promotions.
Oh wow!
Yeah. As a matter of fact, here recently the championships in Albuquerque, and they Legacy Promotions along with Top Rank Promotions, Bob Arum, they had those. In Albuquerque, they were televised through ESPN.
Oh, that's amazing!
Yeah, so
that's a lot of shine on some of these young boxers trying to make their way into the business.
Exactly. So we're going to honor those guys. We're going to honor Legacy Promotions. Actually, we're looking forward to seeing all of these guys as I talk to them. I know a lot of these personal, actually all of them except for the young lady. But anyway, the others we have Chris Jr.
Okay.
He's out of Santa Fe. His father is is a member of the Hall of Fame.
Okay. So it's a family tradition in there.
It just kind of goes. Yeah. He's quite a fighter. And then we have Chris Flores Jr.
Okay.
Chris was born and raised in Roswell.
Okay.
Unfortunately, he passed away maybe 2-3 years ago. But
okay.
He's just maybe 3-4 years younger than I am.
Okay.
And he was fighting at that same time.
Okay.
Went in the service and moved away, never came back. But Chris and his father was one of our coaches as well.
Okay.
So there's another one of those legacies,
Absolutely,
if you will.
Absolutely, yeah. And of course, I'm going to assume we'll have great representation from the family.
That's correct.
On that Saturday night.
Correct.
There too.
The daughter, I've been in contact with the daughter, and she was able to get people together. So
sure.
We're going to honor.
It's as big an honor to them it is their loved one that they no longer have. Because guess what? Every person that we're talking about here, the family behind them, supporting them and allowing them to succeed.
Very true. As a matter of fact, Chris at one time fought at the what is that? Oh my God! In New York, the
Madison Square Garden.
Madison Square Garden at one time. Yeah,
that's a big time.
That's big time. Then we have Ronnie Rentz.
Okay.
Out of Albuquerque. He's a one-time National Golden Glove champion and 2 times Police Athletic League national champion.
Oh wow! Okay.
Pretty impressive young man.
So he's got some hardware.
Yeah. Yes, he does. Then we got Jose Hurtado. By the way, Ronnie's out of Albuquerque.
Okay.
Jose Hurtado. He no longer, but he fought here as a young man.
Okay.
Won a couple of the silver gloves and junior golden gloves as a younger age. Upon graduation from high school, he joined the Army and made a career out of it.
Okay.
But while in the Army, he was on the All-Army team.
Okay.
So he got a chance to travel abroad, and has quite an impressive record.
Excellent. So he basically boxed under for the American flag there in the U.S. Army. Basically,
that's very true.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And was able to make a career of it while serving our country, and again. Great stuff right there. Yeah. And so, do some of these folks that don't live in the area anymore, are they going to be able to come back for the 28th?
Oh, yes. As a matter of fact, yeah. When we get this, there's a group of us, the board of directors, we get to and everybody brings their fighters that they're nominating.
Good. And I imagine some like some that grew up here probably have families still living here and probably
definitely.
Or visiting and are probably just like, let's round. It's Halloween's around the corner. I was looking for an excuse to come visit family anyways.
So it should be quite an evening.
Yes.
The other one, Edward Vigil.
Okay.
Edward's a 3-time state Golden Glove champion out of Roswell. He's a boy. As myself, he's a boys club kid, just like I was. He too has quite an impressive record. As a matter of fact, they had gone to a big tournament in Texas at Fort Bliss, and there was a number of teams from Arizona, Texas, New Mexico, Colorado, had a big box off along with them against Mexico, and. The word is that while this was taking place after the tournament, which Edward won, the Army offered him, I said, listen, come with us. All you have to do is box for a living. And unfortunately, Edward had other plans.
Sure.
But they were trying to recruit him to fight professional. And he goes, no, I've done what I need to do. So he's here in Roswell.
Well, good for him.
Has a small business, and we're very, very proud of him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I bet if you ask him his success in his business and everything today, I bet it's all skill sets and what he learned from his boxing side of life here.
Mr. Hall, Willie Hall Sr., he had a lot of impact on a lot of people, including myself. Yeah, that's quite the
absolutely.
That's boxing aficionado, if you would.
Yeah, I mean that's the beauty of sports. It really is. But even more so sometimes in boxing because, really when you think about it, if you don't put much thought into it, you think of boxing as an individual sport. And yes, there's 2 people in the ring going head to head against each other, but each person has a team of people behind them that are going through and working and pushing them and making them better and everything else. And so, you see 2 boxers in a ring, but it's Team Jones and Team Johnson or Team whatever those 2 fighters are in that ring because there's a slurry of people that have been working with them to get them along the way.
Mike, that is so very true. and I can say firsthand because all of those guys, you travel together. It's when you get in that ring, it is one-on-one. That is correct. But when you go down there, you go as a team and you represent as a team. Because you know what, all of these different guys that, for example, we do all our exercises, hit the bag, speed bag, all those other things that towards the end of the day, we're sitting there and we're sparring with one another. And during that course of the night, you're going to fight with 3 or 4 different people. You go 3 minutes apiece, but it's because you got to learn from everybody.
Sure.
He's a lefty, different fighters have different techniques, and you're learning. And those guys, those are your brothers. You travel, and everywhere you go, you're not, again, like you said, it's one-on-one, but everybody, it definitely is a team.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you're talking about styles. Like, if you got a guy with long arms, you're gonna have to fight that person a little bit different than you're gonna have to back away a little bit because he can clock you from a little farther out. And so it's okay, or maybe because he's long, I need to get inside.
Exactly. That's exactly
kind of
right.
Whatever the logic is here. But you gotta. Pardon the pun, you got to get punched in the face to learn that sometimes. You know what I mean?
And that's the thing, Mike. If you're going to box, you're going to get hit. There's no way around that.
Not even the best of boxers takes one on the chin every now and then.
Very true. And Mike, last but not least, Jackie Chavez. This young lady is a former world champion.
Awesome.
She'll be here. I think she said the weight was 122. She's the International Women's Boxing Federation champion.
Oh, wow.
That we're talking about world champion.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
so not only is she the best at it, but because she's a woman, she's also kind of the glass ceiling breaker for that. You know what I mean? She's got the extra layer of having to prove herself as a woman,
exactly.
in a man's world. Let's just face it. That's what, in boxing. And so that's another layer of awesomeness to that.
There you know
go. What I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
We have last year we had a young lady out of the Las Cruces area, Delia. Can't remember the last name of there, but anyway, she was a world champion, and we're very fortunate to have Jackie also is from Albuquerque, but all of these people have paid their dues, if you will. And I think about all of these fighters because I know most of I've just met Jackie just once, but the rest of them I know. And I've had an opportunity to watch them.
Kind of see them grow up a little bit,
if you will, yeah.
Kind of, come of age a bit, yeah.
I like that come of age, yeah. Because you see them growing prosper, like the local ones like Chris and Edward, Chris and Jose. I know, like I said, we fought out of the same gym.
Sure.
And I'm
going to bet first time you met them, they're probably coming with some of them goofballs. You know what I mean? Then you see them now and you're like, wow, that is not the same person that walked in my gym all those years ago, man.
You see those guys and he goes, you can see the growth in them. And it's like as you go through that and he's like, wow, because you saw them as young men, boys.
Oh yeah, what
they become these outstanding, not only outstanding in the sport, but leaders of their community. They have their own businesses.
Absolutely,
they're making a good living.
Well, and boxing makes you tough, not
true.
just. I mean, physically, we know the many hours of training, but the real tough is in the brain, the mental, because. I would argue you could be the most physical specimen in the world. The perfect body for boxing, whatever you want to call that.
Right.
That's what you have. But if your brain isn't, if you don't have the strategy, if you don't have the understanding, if you don't have the chess match, the part where you're like, okay, they're going to do this. How do I counter? I anticipate this, or tendencies. I know this boxer. He tends to go left or whatever it is. You know what I mean? And that's where they learn, and through those problem-solving skills, they become, whether it's in boxing or a life business, they use that same technique, the same mind to navigate problems outside the ring.
That's very well stated, Mike.
Yeah.
That's the very, I think about myself a few times. It's like, Ray, when you step here, get your left foot on the outside of his right, step to the outside, go body and go head. But when you go to the head, twice to the head, he tends to drop his right hand.
Yeah.
And it's like, and you're just listening because you see what you see. Coach sees something else.
Sure.
And then once it says, "Oh, that works."
The light bulb moment hits. And that's probably the cool part for you. It's like I see this guy get dragged around the ring, and then finally, everything we've been preaching made sense. And it's and that's and I'm gonna guess that's why you've been involved with this Golden Gloves and boxing your whole life.
Well, it's those guys like that. It's like I said, these gentlemen, even like the guys that I fought them, like Sam Martinez, Paul Nunez, Willie Hall Jr., Chubby Brown. Reese Smokey, all of those guys, Mondo Gonzalez, the list goes on. And those guys, I sparred against them. I traveled with them. The Anaya brothers, there's so many of them. The De Los Santos, there's a boatload of us, and as you go through life, and a lot of these gentlemen have made like I said, very successful men.
Absolutely.
And it started there. It really did, because you have to adjust to different things in life.
Sure. Yeah, no, I'm just Jewish curious. I'm getting a little off topic here, from the Hall of Fame event here. But, when we talk about, boxing and we get to the professional ranks and you start hearing, and there's, at the end of the day, there's probably maybe a dozen fighters throughout the world that are maybe household names in people's heads and things like that. But there's so many boxers. I mean, is boxing in a way like acting? And what I mean by that is there's a whole bunch of boxers that make full-time careers as boxers, but they're not household names, but they make a decent living doing it.
Yeah, very, very good.
Kind of like, actors, they've been in a million things, but I don't know their name, but I see them and stuff. I just don't know if boxers can have careers like that, or musicians where they're for house bands and stuff, and they make pretty good careers doing it. I don't know if boxing offered those same opportunities.
That's very, very true, Mike. There's some young boxers there in the Albuquerque, the Rodriguez, the Perez boys. One of them was a national champion, and he's a IBF champion. He's a world IBF champion. Leos, and all that. There's New Mexico is quite the hotbed for boxing.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But getting back to this.
Yeah. Well, I guess the other way I reason I asked too is because, like, for sparring and stuff, when you spar with the different boxers and things, obviously your spar partners are boxers training to be professional boxers themselves. But then it got me thinking. It's like, well, is there some of those guys that maybe never quite got to that level, but they always stay at that level? Is they're the perfect spar partner for people? They're the guys that they make a career of getting other boxers ready.
And those guys get compensated for that.
Gotcha. But I know if that was like a very good career a career that those guys do make a good living doing.
Well, I think that they make money, but not because they get compensated.
Yeah, they're not getting $1 million paychecks, but
they do pretty well.
But they pay the bills.
They pay.
That's what I was curious about.
Yeah, that's very
good. That's all. I was just because there's so many people in boxing, but I was like, can you unless you're Mike Tyson or one of these guys, do you really? And of course that's ridiculous money at that point. But
even now in the lighter weights where that wasn't the case anymore, that they're making some serious money in these lighter weights.
Good. So they're making careers and things. And I didn't know if it was like you have to get in the Olympics to get the endorsement deals and get all this stuff, or if you could be in that gym, sweating in day out in Roswell or Albuquerque or whatever, and that steps you into the next phase here. And so, and that's really who we're honoring here on Saturday, the 28th.
That's correct.
And, now, for the event here, like we said, it's going to be starting at 6 p.m. on Saturday, the 28th at the Roswell Convention Civic Center. Do people need to get advance tickets? Yes. And if so, how do they do that?
Well, there's they can purchase their tickets at Bank of the Southwest.
Okay.
But only at the north branch at 3203 North Main.
Okay.
And at the South Branch at 800 West Hobbs. And and the cost of the tickets is $40. So they can get their tickets there. I like to say they'd get them at the door, but I don't know. We're pretty much getting ready sold out here pretty quick.
So you might don't hope and crush fingers and show up at the door and get in. You might not be able to.
That's correct.
Visit either the North or South Bank of the Southwest locations during business hours.
That's correct.
You can get your tickets there. They're $40 a piece here, and that proceeds, of course, go to the Golden Gloves boxing program and all.
Well,
that
it's the goal. The goal eventually is it's the Hall of Fame. To put this thing together. Our goal is eventually to have a museum in Roswell, New Mexico.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's what we're looking to.
That's the end game here.
Mm-hmm. You know, it's really funny because a lot of times these things in the like Albuquerque and Las Cruces, which are the bigger cities, they do okay and they do well, but they have a lot of competition. You know, you got the Lobos, you got the Aggies, you got professional boxing, all these things. We're in a smaller city, and it works really well for us. And everything that we do, everything that the money, anything that we buy or purchase, or anything that we do, it's all local.
Yeah.
So the money comes to Roswell and it stays in Roswell.
Keeping it here with our Roswell supporters.
Yeah, and you know, because that's what we want to do.
Absolutely. And that's the great thing. Like when you come, like if you were out back in March at the you know, it's these local kids and these, you know, we get some kids that are, you know, barely old enough to walk and they're in the ring, you know what I mean? And so I mean, it's all grassroots working. It's all neighborhood level. Man.
That's
really
very true.
Yeah.
You know, Mike, you know, you think about the Hall of Fames, like football, it's in Canton High. It's a small city. You know, all these smaller cities, and that's as a board of directors.
Cooperstown, New York for baseball.
There you go.
Other than the what do you know about Cooperstown, New York?
Exactly.
I don't know about it.
Yeah. and that's what we found that to be very true, and especially in our part of the country here in New Mexico. So
absolutely. So Roswell, New Mexico. Now, granted, you do have the alien thing, so we are already internationally known.
That's right.
But we could definitely
we can add that.
And also think of what that will do for boxing in Southeast New Mexico. When kids come and then they go and they see these photos and these belts and they see the history of New Mexicans doing it, I can't imagine that's not going to inspire some kids to want to put on some gloves and maybe try this boxing thing out. You know what I mean? So definitely, but please get your tickets. Come out and celebrate. Is it 11 total that are being honored?
11 people.
11 total that we're going to be honored here on the 28th, and a few locals in there as well, mixed in there. But come celebrate boxing. Come support local boxing and New Mexico boxing. And come honor some great people and come out for a great night of fun, entertainment.
It is. The food is good.
Yeah.
The food is good, and you get to meet some people. And these guys are coming. If you come up and talk to them, they're very receptive. Again, we got some national champions here. We got a world champion.
I must say, you want to probably some of the most amazing boxing stories of New Mexico history will be told that night.
It's the things that some of these guys.
Some will get bigger over the years too, like fish stories. They do get a little bigger, a couple of them.
Well, I tell you what, you'll get a chance to visit with them and the things that they had to overcome.
Sure.
And I've been very fortunate. These like this. This is our third straight year here in Roswell, and we plan to keep it here.
This is kind of the new home here for
right,
it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Excellent.
And I don't know if I need to share this with you. The New Mexico Boxing Hall of Fame was founded by a group of men, but it was spearheaded by Jerry Martinez.
Okay.
He's a former fighter from here in Roswell, former police officer. He now lives in Albuquerque.
Okay.
And he's the guy that got me involved because he was my guy. He was 3 or 4 years older.
So he was like your mentor, really.
He was my mentor as far as this type of thing.
Sure.
Because he
must have rubbed off pretty good because here we sit, you years later, doing what we're doing here. So that's
there's
amazing.
there's a lot of us that were rubbed off by Jerry because he was quite a fighter.
Excellent.
He was.
So it is a little apropos that Roswell is the home for the Hall of Fame, and it's got roots here already.
Yes, it does.
Let's throw some water and some soil on it and see what we got here.
We truly do appreciate the support of the community, guys like yourself, radio stations, the businesses that sponsor us. Everybody working with us.
Well,
we truly appreciate it.
It's easy when you have a great program and it does so much benefit for the state of New Mexico, not only for these individuals, but for our community as a whole. You're churning out leaders, whether you realize it or not. That's what's happening.
Very well stated, Mark.
Yeah. Unintended or not, that's what happens. Is you're churning out leaders.
That's right.
If anybody has any questions or anything, what's probably the best way to find some information?
They can call me.
Okay.
575-910-2222.
Very good. And again, come join us again Saturday night, September 28th, 6 p.m. at the Roswell Convention and Civic Center. Join us for the New Mexico Golden Gloves Boxing Hall of Fame induction evening with dinner. And, of course, we're going to honor 11 new individuals to the Mexico Golden Gloves Boxing Hall of Fame. and bid, donate if you'd like. If there's because again, proceeds of this, our goal is to have a Hall of Fame museum facility
Eventually,
here in town.
And, correct.
Where we can go and come and see all of these Golden Glove honorees, and because just curious, when did the Hall of Fame start? Or start making honorees and kind of collecting your pool of nominees and honorees?
When we initially, I believe it was 9.
Okay.
I believe it was an 09.
Okay, so shoot, almost 13 years now, going on 14 years. So very good. Excellent. So come be a part of the history here, and come see as we honor some living legends and some no longer with us as well too.
That's very true.
Absolutely. Did we get anything we missed?
I believe we did. I believe we got it all.
Awesome.
Back north, the South branches only too.
Yes, that's where you can get tickets, $40, and for the evening, and that covers dinner and the whole evening of events.
It is a cold and tire fare, but we're not going to turn you around.
Gotcha. So you don't have to grab Uber fancy. Just save you shorts for the early in the day, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. It's a nice affair. It's a time and a place to honor
the official term. I think we all universally know is church clothes. Wear your church clothes.
There you go. There you go.
Ray, as always.
Mike, thank you. It's been a pleasure.
We'll see you next time here, and because I imagine we'll have some more boxing events coming up that we need to get on people's radars.
Well, it's really funny, but again, the State Golden Glove Tournament is the end of March at Roswell High.
Yeah.
And you think 6 months away, but no, it's
no.
Before you know it, it's here.
I guarantee, like the weekend after that event, you guys are planning and plotting and getting ready for next year.
Exactly.
So,
yeah. So there's
absolutely, and so it never ceases.
It never ceases.
Thanks, Ray. Take care. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, Mike. Have a great day.
You do the same. It is 9:47. Let's pause.
61-year-old woman were found inside the home by firefighters conducting a search when they got to the scene in the 1100 block of East Walnut Street at about 8:30 in the morning. Both victims were taken to a local hospital and then transferred to another hospital elsewhere for further treatment. The cause of the fire has not yet been determined. The fire remains under investigation by the RFD Fire Marshal's office. Hundreds of thousands of additional New Mexico residents will soon be eligible for food stamps as the state expands its Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program benefit eligibility. SNAP recipients aged 60 and older and those with disabilities will see their state supplement go up. The minimum benefit will go up from $32 to about $100 a month. The change will impact more than 26,000 households statewide. The increase will cost the state about $14 million. An HCA spokesperson says New Mexico will use state general funds to pay for the increase. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Have you ever been stuck on a web page and no matter what you try, you just can't close it? Well, there's a new scam out there that takes that frustration to a whole new level, and it's after your Google login. I'm Kim Commando for Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. Accelerate your AI workload today. Take a free test drive at oracle.com/Kim. Here's how it works. Sneaky malware locks your Windows browser into kiosk mode. That's a fancy way of saying it freezes your screen. You cannot get out. So you click and click that little X at the top. Your Google login form still works though. So you might think, I'll just log in to get out of here. But don't. That's exactly what hackers want. The moment you enter your username and password, they've got you. So how do you escape? Try hitting Control-Alt-Delete to force close the browser. If that fails, your last resort is to unplug your computer and then restart it and be sure to run a complete virus scan. Bottom line, if something feels off, do not enter your info. Enter to win an iPhone 16 at winfromkim.com. AI might be the most important new computer technology ever. It's storming every industry, and literally billions of dollars are being invested. So buckle up. The problem is that AI needs a lot of speed and processing power. So how do you compete without costs spiraling out of control? It's time to upgrade to the next generation of the cloud. Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, or OCI. OCI is a single platform for your infrastructure, database, application development, and AI needs. OCI has 4 to 8 times the bandwidth of other clouds, offers one consistent price instead of variable regional pricing, and of course, nobody does data better than Oracle. So now you can train your AI models at twice the speed and less than half the cost of other clouds. If you want to do more and spend less like Uber, 8x8, and Databricks Mosaic, take a free test drive of OCI at oracle.com/Kim. That's oracle.com/Kim, oracle.com/Kim.
Meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We've got high pressure setting up over the Four Corners, and that'll be covering our area for the next few days. Pretty warm today, upper 80s and low 90s. Should be sunny through the day. Overnight will be clear, our low dropping to 60, and we'll be in the upper 80s for the high again on Wednesday, and sunny. Warming up a little bit on Thursday. We're back in the low 90s and then upper 80s on Friday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. Let's do a little backtracking and catch you up with some boys soccer from over the weekend and what's coming up. In fact, we got a couple of games going on today. Roswell High will be playing at Lovington. That's a game that features an 8-4 Coyotes team against a Lovington team that's 5-6. And Roswell didn't play actually over the weekend. It'll be NMMI playing this afternoon in its district opener at Socorro. NMMI over the weekend took care of business against Robertson by a score of 6-1. The Colts are 4-5, but that game was only 2-0 at halftime before NMMI opened it up in the second half. Socorro, the opponent today, is 2-8. NMMI is 4-5. Game time is at 4:00. Goddard lost to Los Alamos on Saturday 2-0. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bernie Bennett. California is suing ExxonMobil for allegedly deceiving the public for half a century by promising that recycling would address the global plastics pollution crisis. California Attorney General Rob Bonta said less than 5% of plastics are being recycled into another plastic product in the U.S., despite being labeled as recyclable.
And yet it pushed recycling programs, which Bonta alleges gets rid of only about 5% of plastic waste.
Plastic contaminates our drinking water, strangles our wildlife, and blights our landscapes.
California's lawsuit seeks penalties, a cleanup fund, and an end to the alleged deception.
That's correspondent Jackie Quinn. Attention Kmart shoppers, the end is near. The erstwhile retail giant, renowned for its blue light specials, is shuttering its last full-scale store in mainland United States. It's located in Brighthampton, New York. China's central bank reduces required reserves for lenders, part of a slew of moves to support the slowing economy. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bernie Bennett in Washington.
What? My trade's got to be worth more than this! Hey, Roswell and surrounding areas, don't get hit hard by low trade offers. Right now, the all-new Roswell Ford needs your trade. That means you'll get top dollar for your trade. Stuck in your loan or lease, Roswell Ford wants to get you released, even if you owe thousands more than your trade is worth. So you can drive a new Ford or quality pre-owned vehicle for a lot less. For a limited time, get 0% APR or no payments till 2025. Plus, we have a great selection of low-mileage, one-owner pre-owned vehicles, all in prime condition, starting at just $10,000. Don't settle for a low-quality, overpriced clunker. Buy a quality pre-owned vehicle from Roswell Ford for a lot less. Roswell Ford has partnered with the most aggressive lenders that will push to approve you today, even with bad or no credit. Lower prices, exceptional trade-in values, and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford with new management and a whole new attitude. 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell, or online at roswellford.com. 0 APR for 36 months is $27.78 per thousand financed on select models. No payments till 2025. Subject to lender approval through Ford credit. Offers not combined.
At Artesia General Hospital, we know it's early, but schedule your mammogram today and save. Call 855-RAD-EXAM and save 10% off mammograms scheduled through October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and get a refreshing drink discount from Kith & Kin in Artesia or Blue House in Carlsbad. We use leading-edge, FDA-approved Genius 3D mammography technology to deliver more accurate results faster and with more comfort. Women over 40 do not need a referral for yearly screenings. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/mammogram.
Are you ready to succeed? At ENMU Roswell, they cater to your educational needs. Their dedicated facilities and faculties provide you with an exceptional learning experience. From academic programs to behavioral sciences, business, health education, or technical education, ENMU Roswell offers a wide variety of certifications and degree programs designed to take your education and experience to the next level. Register now on campus or online at roswell.enmu.edu. Eastern New Mexico University Roswell. Success starts here.
The Roswell Symphony Orchestra is warming up for their 66th season, and you're invited to opening night with KO Plays Elgar, Saturday, October 12th, 7:30 p.m. at Pearson Auditorium in Roswell. Brahms' Academic Festival Overture and Elgar's Concerto for Cello and Orchestra bookends the world premiere of Bucolic Celebration, written by Southeast New Mexico's own Mark Del Porto. Tickets are available now online at roswellsymphony.org or at the door. Get your tickets now, then come be a part of opening night of the historic 66th season of the Roswell Symphony Orchestra, sponsored in part by the City of Roswell Lodgers Tax. The Eastern New Mexico State Fair is back September 30th through October 5th at the fairgrounds in Roswell. A whole week of awesome animals, amazing food, and some of the best entertainment in the whole galaxy. It all kicks off with Wright's Carnival Sneak Peek Friday the 27th from 4 to 11 p.m. and Saturday the 28th from noon to 11 p.m. The parade is Monday at 10 a.m. down Main Street and gates open for the fair at noon. Tuesday is Ride 'em Cowboy Day with admission and an all-day ride pass for just $25. Wednesday is Senior Day and Dollar Ride Day. Thursday is Canned Food Night, where 2 cans of food get you a wristband for just $25. Then don't miss the Pecos Valley Ranch Rodeo Friday and Saturday at 6 p.m. Plus, parking and concerts are free with your paid admission to the fair. Log on to enmsf.com to learn more. The 2024 Eastern New Mexico State Fair, September 30th through October 5th at the fairgrounds in Roswell. Ad paid for by the City of Roswell Lodgers Tax.
The weather is changing, and what is cooler than being at the Cow? Well, we can't think of anything. The Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop in Roswell is your authorized Brothers sewing machine dealer for Southeast New Mexico, and they're all on sale right now at the Calico Cow. New fabric styles for fall are here, and holiday and Christmas fabrics continue to arrive daily. If you're still stitched to your own machine and you just want a tune-up, call for in-house maintenance, 575-639-2586. The Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop, 200 East College in Roswell. Want to know how? Come see the Cow.
At Richland Motors, it's never been easier to sell or trade your current car, truck, or SUV for a newer model to hit the road in. Even if you don't purchase from Richland, they want to buy your vehicle for top dollar. But if you do buy from Richland, don't forget, they're the home of the powertrain warranty for life. That's a whole lot of confidence for you. See Richland for details. 2nd and Sycamore and 1309 Southeast Main.
Clyde Lewis and Ground Zero is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM. KEND Roswell.
I'm Rich Thomason. It is his United Nations swan song, President Biden about to address the UN General Assembly in New York.
The annual speech to world leaders at the UN gives American presidents a global stage to promote and tout their foreign policy. And Joe Biden is expected to do that with an eye toward his legacy. But the president's speech and the UN General Assembly come at a time of continued war in Eastern Europe and escalating tensions in the Middle East. 2 key goals of the Biden White House remain unresolved: Ukraine defeating Russia and reaching a ceasefire in the Israel-Hamas war. Greg Clugston, Washington.
It's a heads up for Florida. There's a storm brewing in the Caribbean, could become a major hurricane. Forecasters say it could hit the Gulf Coast by Thursday. They say the impact could be felt from the Tampa area north to the Big Bend and the Panhandle. The small southwest Pennsylvania borough of Smithton, population roughly 400, hosted a VIP the other day.
Early voting begins in Pennsylvania over the next 2 weeks, and we need each and every one of you to go out. Just don't take anything for granted. We have to win Pennsylvania.
Former President Trump hearing the hopes and fears of small-town people, including farmers, who say they've been watching their way of life slip away in recent years. Well, now that she's running for the White House, Biden's border czar Kamala Harris may actually visit the southern border. That's according to sources referenced by CNN and the New York Times. They're running for their lives, thousands of people fleeing southern Lebanon as Israeli airstrikes target Hezbollah rocket launchers that are often based among civilians. Also, some more U.S. troops may soon be heading to the Mideast. Watching Wall Street, the Dow is down 4 points, the Nasdaq off 29, the S&P 12 points in the red. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does. but it's important to maintain your health. And now, wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your ears anymore. It's easy to use and help make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar or more daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Donald Trump supporters over a 2020 encounter with the Biden-Harris campaign bus. Days before the election, a Biden-Harris campaign bus was traveling from San Antonio to Austin for an event when a group of cars and trucks waving Trump flags surrounded the bus. Video shows one of the defendants hit a campaign volunteer's car while the trucks occupied all lanes of traffic, forcing the bus and everyone around it into a 15-mile-per-hour crawl. People who were on the bus say it amounted to political intimidation. A former lawmaker testified she feared for her life. I'm Ed Donahue.
Sweden says Iran was behind thousands of text messages sent to people in the Scandinavian country calling for revenge over the burnings of the Koran in 2023. Authorities in Stockholm claim Iran's Revolutionary Guard carried out a data breach. News and analysis at townhall.com. Hoping to end a strike by its workers, an aerospace giant lays a new offer on the table.
Boeing is offering higher pay to striking workers, but insisting they get back on the job quickly. Boeing has rolled out what it calls its best and final offer to get more than 30,000 striking machinist workers who assemble aircraft back to work. Those on the picket line in Washington state expressed their desire last week to end the nearly 2-week-old walkout.
We all want to get back to work, and we all want to be the Boeing family that we always have been.
Boeing says the new offer is contingent on union members ratifying the contract by Friday night. I'm Jackie Quinn.
Oregon election officials.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
Los Deuce.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell Talk FM. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Yes, welcome to it.
Welcome to Tuesday.
Sorry, we lost our video signal, it looks like. So.
Interesting. This is Chipper Me.
We need to get top men on it.
Top men.
First, we need to hire top men.
Yes.
And then we need to get them on it.
Yes.
Yes.
Top.
In that order.
All we have is ramen.
It's not as strong.
No.
But
we're tasty. This is Chipper May. I apologize. I'm dealing with the cold.
Yeah,
so,
it's completely understandable.
This is
you know what? Some days you get the best of us, and then other days you're just gonna get the rest of us.
Yeah, and I took my Mucinex about 4 this morning, so it's fully kicked in. So this is about as good as it gets for right now. So,
do you think that TJ Miller gets bitter every time he has to take Mucinex? He's like got a cold or something.
Right.
Somebody hands him a box of Mucinex. He's like, "Shut up."
Yep. Kind of like well, he's no longer with us, but what's his name with Affleck?
Oh, Gilbert Gottfried.
Gilbert Gottfried, yeah.
Right. He's like, I had to take 2 weeks off of work. He's like, yeah, did you use that? No, I didn't use Affleck.
You'll never replace my quack. Oh, wait.
I'm union. They took care of me. Still to this day. And it's not even so much in the joke.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the moment of relief, of pure comedy is when Gilbert Gottfried, and I can't remember, I think it was at the Hugh Hefner roast.
Okay.
Dropped the Aristocrats.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think I remember that now that you say that.
It was right shortly after 9/11. And he basically made a joke that was very insensitive and like even was getting some too soons out of the audience. And now there's a documentary about this. It's actually literally called The Aristocrats. It's
I've
all
seen
about the joke itself.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, it used to be on Netflix back in the day.
It is,
I don't know if it's still
I had
there.
it on DVD,
Do you?
actually. Yeah.
I don't know if it's still on Netflix, but it used to be many moons ago.
So I can track it down and loan it to you. But yeah, no, it is. It's fascinating, this joke. But for those who don't know, and I'm not going to go into detail, but a family walks into a talent agent's office, man, a woman, kids, and their dog. And they said, "We have an act for you." He said, "We don't hire family acts. They're too cutesy." He said, "Sir, if you'll just give us a moment, give us a chance, and we're pretty sure we can surprise you." "Okay, fine. Show me what you got." And then the joke is less about the punchline and more about what vile, horrific things you can stuff into that lineup of what the family does.
How over the top.
To win over the talent agent.
Yeah.
And the joke is, "Well, that's a heck of an act. What do you call yourselves?" They say, "The Aristocrats." But it was like the air was sucked out of the room because of the 9/11 joke.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, can anybody possibly bring this back? And he's standing there. He goes, okay. A family walks into a talent agent, and as soon as those words leave his mouth, the dais just starts howling. Again, not because of the joke, because of we're sitting here in formal wear on a dais in front of a national TV audience, and some of the worst things you've ever heard in your entire life were about to be said.
Right.
Rob Schneider fell to the floor laughing. Several times Gilbert had to stop and be like, "Did you catch everything? Do you need me to go back?" And several times he did go back.
Yeah, I'm sure he would.
And again, just the whole dais is just howling.
Yeah, as cringe as Gilbert Godfrey could be, those were his brilliant moments.
Yes.
Where in the cringiness comes this, what just happened? And you're like,
we just wrecked it. It's like, we already crashed this party. Now let's see how deep and dark we can get.
Yeah. And to be honest, quite frankly, when the Affleck gig, I'm surprised he had as long as he did.
True. Yeah.
I thought he for sure would blow that up sooner than he did, because that's what he does. And the thing he used to, and this is back in the day when I used to listen to Stern on the regular. He was a pretty regular guest on that show.
Sure.
I'd say once every few months he'd be popping on there. And of course, once he got on Sirius on satellite, he could really let go.
Rough.
But one thing, and I don't know if this was just shtick that Howard did, but I don't think it is. He used to talk about the notorious cheapness that is Gilbert Godfrey.
Really?
And like whenever there's stuff in the green room, like he's cleaning it out, like if there's cookies or if there's any kind of, just this swag for the guest, he's cleaning that stuff out.
You gonna finish those stage lights? You want to split them?
Right. Yeah, like he's just trying to
I admire it, though.
Whatever he can to pinch a penny or save a buck. And he was just talking about his notorious cheapness.
He was probably planning ahead because he knew he was going to blow it one day.
Well, you got to be honest, at his kind of comedy, at some point that, I think he passed away before Me Too hit.
Yeah,
so.
no, he got canceled before canceling was a thing.
Yeah.
Like that was like about a decade before canceling really became like the culture.
But and to be honest, I don't think, like in the big scope of things, he would have never got, because I just don't think he had that kind of like reputation with women and that kind of thing. Like he was never going to cross over.
Like
he was pretty reclusive in that way.
There's a few of those comics that can go from absolutely just like filthy working to like, to crossing over. And he wasn't one of those that I think had that. Although I think he did have his, but it had come and gone. It was the 90s because he was in, if you think about it, this person who spouts some vile things was the voice of like 16 different cartoon characters.
Absolutely,
when I was a kid.
Yeah.
He was, okay, I'll have to find the ad, but he was the voice of a smoke alarm in a PSA when I was a kid. It was like he'd push the nose and he goes, "Ah!" And he does this whole Gilbert Gottfried shtick.
Yeah.
But that's, honestly, it might have been like a court thing. He might have had to do that to like, settle up something.
Tim Allen-esque type thing.
It did seem odd to have Gilbert Gottfried pop up in a commercial. And that was like in the middle of a commercial break for Aladdin, where he also was playing Iago, the parrot.
Okay.
So he did have his renaissance of crossover. I would even argue like the early 90s, and this stretches into the whole...
Our guest here. Oh, okay.
This stretches into the whole USA Up All Night thing.
Mm-hmm.
But Child's Play 2.
Yeah.
He was the host of USA Up All Night. So, in the early 90s,
I'm trying to think if I ever told you this, because you mentioned about the had to kind of thing for the kids' cartoon PSA.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you that Tim Allen did stand up at my high school when I was in high school?
Really?
Yeah. This was his part of his community service.
Okay.
Because he got, was it drugs?
Yeah, cocaine.
Yeah,
he was
and
a
before
mule.
he kind of blew up into Tim the Tool Man,
Mhm.
he got busted. And this was right, I think, when Tool time was, like, that was just starting, he was starting to get famous.
Yeah.
As a
And
stand-up comic.
I'll tell you what it was. It was Young Comedians. He went on Rodney Dangerfield's Young Comedians, and that was sort of like his launch of the Real Men thing.
Because he did that whole shtick.
It launched that character.
In his, on his high school. Now, he was doing a thing to the school about, don't do drugs, man.
Mhm.
Don't be like me. But he did his stand-up set,
Mhm.
and it was all the, because that was the first time I was like, and then like the next week, I saw like the Young Comedian special. He's doing. I was like, that dude was at my high school.
That dude was wearing an orange jumpsuit.
No, he had a comedian.
See, I like
clothes.
to imagine that even if like they're doing stand up,
Yeah.
they still have to wear like the chain gang.
Yeah,
Sounds like somebody's here.
Yeah, I think our guest's here, Roy. I just forgot about that too. You were talking about Gilbert Gottfried. It might have been. I was like, oh yeah.
He definitely had a heyday of hits in the 90s, and then I think Affleck was, they were paying him enough to where he could just kind of do that and coast.
Sure.
And but
I got a feeling he saved every penny.
Oh, probably. And that's one thing. If you go back and watch those like Child's Play 1 and 2,
Yeah.
it's like, I mean, it does not hold up. Those movies do not hold up.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
You don't got many John Ritter joints left.
There was a movie when I was a kid.
Is that our guess?
Yes.
Cool.
There was a movie when I was a kid, and it wasn't like a big known thing. I think it was even a Disney movie. It was called The Paper Brigade. It starred this
like that name sounds
this
familiar.
kid was in like everything. He was a kid who's like rough, growing up on the wrong side of the, bad teenager, and eventually he gets this paper route. Robert Englund is in this movie. He plays the crotchety neighbor who becomes his like best friend.
with long fingernails.
Right. But that's the only star power of this movie was Robert Englund was in this movie.
And to be honest,
You couldn't tell because he didn't have a mask on.
Right,
Yeah.
he don't know.
He just looks like some old dude.
He doesn't look like Freddy Krueger. so. Which one's him again? The old one.
But
of course, Robert Englund, like that guy, is he still alive?
I think he just recently passed.
I was about to say he always looked the same to me every time I saw him.
I could be wrong. He could be very much alive. And
Like he looks like there's two, like him and Morgan Freeman. Like
is? Yeah, is.
Like
So
every
he's still-
time I see Robert Englund and Morgan Freeman, they look the same.
He's not that old. Like
He's probably in his 70s.
He's up there, but he looks like Daniel Stern. Like he looks like a slightly older Daniel
Yeah, I'll
Stern.
say Well, I think of young Stern with the big bush hair.
Right, about that same age, bushwhacked and that whole era. But yeah, he's it's just because we've seen him in pockmark horrific makeup for 30 years. We're just so used to him looking old.
Sure. Yeah. That. But the other one, Morgan Freeman's other one, looks the same.
Mm-hmm.
Like
100%.
Like if you watch the movie Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves from the 1980s, and then you watch a movie from like 2 years ago, I'm like, it's the same dude.
Yeah.
He's exactly
I mean, you know what they say.
Yeah.
Back don't crack.
He just looks the same. He just doesn't age. Or he aged to a point and stopped.
Right.
And it stopped somewhere in the 80s, or he just aged this stop,
It's
and then
like-
he hit and said, I'm just going to keep looking like this at age for the rest of my life.
It's like Abe Vigoda.
Yeah.
The dude looked 80 when he was 40.
Yeah.
And that's probably like a 3 to 4 pack a day habit that'll do that to you.
Yeah.
But same thing with Burgess Meredith.
Mhm.
He always played the old dude, but he was actually not a super old dude.
Sure.
Until he was.
Maybe that's the move. Just look
Yeah.
old, young, and
Start.
then
Yep.
people think you're old
Steve
for a long
Martin's been doing it. He's had that hair since The Jerk.
time. Yeah, the white hair.
Yeah.
He got that in his 20s, probably.
Yeah.
So,
That was back when the man had no rhythm.
stay away from the cams.
God, I love that movie.
Seen it in years. I got to go watch it.
It's definitely good for a rewatch.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good movie. Let's get the hour going here. We're going to talk Eastern New Mexico State Fair this hour, particularly the entertainment portion of the fair. Sal Aguilar is going to join us here and talk about all the different concerts and shows and things happening next week out at the Eastern New Mexico State Fair.
Just saying, go ahead and grab the hand of Bobby Ann Mason and get down there Friday night because it's going to be one hellacious shindig.
Oh, yeah, but they got concerts every night, I think,
Yes.
out at the fair this next week here. So every night there's stuff on the big stage and everything going on there.
Yes, sir.
So we'll talk all about that with Sal here in just a bit. Later on in the hour, we'll get you up to date with news of the local variety, Wall Street business update, whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. But first, let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We've got high pressure setting up over the Four Corners, and that'll be covering our area for the next few days. Pretty warm today, upper 80s and low 90s. Should be sunny through the day. Overnight will be clear, our low dropping to 60, and then we'll be in the upper 80s for the high again on Wednesday, and sunny. Warming up a little bit on Thursday. We're back in the low 90s and then upper 80s on Friday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 64 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 65%. Winds currently out of the northeast at 3 miles per hour. Sunny and 91 for a high today. South winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Clear tonight. Expect an overnight low of 58 degrees. Winds out of the northeast 5 to 10 miles per hour. For you Wednesday, 87 and sunny. Winds will be out of the north at around 5 miles per hour. Thursday, we're looking at sunny skies, 92 for a high there with south winds 5 to 10. Friday, sunny, highs right around 91 degrees. And for the weekend, sunny and 89 for Saturday and sunny 92 for Sunday. And fair day, parade day and all that, Monday 91 and sunny there. So, all right, it is 8:20. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then Sal Aguilar will join us here from the Eastern Mexico State Fair, talking about entertainment at next week's fair. Don't go away. That's up next.
The Fall into Savings sales event is on now at Roswell Hyundai, the home of...
Yes.
Get a 24 Hyundai Tucson SE just $442 a month, or a 24 Hyundai Elantra SEL just $379 a month. And test drive the all-new 25 Hyundai Santa Fe Hybrid, rugged and ready for wherever the road takes you. 0 down and no payments for 90 days on select vehicles. And don't forget to sign up to win one of 2 65-inch 4K smart TVs to be given away September 21st and 28th at 1 p.m. The Fall into Savings sales event on now at the home of Roswell Hyundai, 1909 West 2nd.
Are you walking around with a space in your mouth from a missing tooth? Are you having difficulty chewing? Or are you holding back on your big smile in those group photos? Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher with Carabelli Dental. Did you know that we provide dental implant treatment for our patients? We can help you replace one tooth or all your teeth with dental implants. Why not call our office today? Set up an appointment and let's chat about options that will boost your confidence and allow you to live the life with the smile you want.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell, or call 575-622-4455.
The ultimate Wi-Fi experience is now available to you thanks to Smart Home Wi-Fi with Plateau. Get fiber-to-home technology 100 times faster than average household internet speed. Plateau has multiple plans and options to fit your family. With Fast, get true 100 megs per second download and upload speed. With Faster, get true 500 megs of download and upload speeds. And with Fastest, you get 1 gig. Learn more at plateautel.com. Get the speed you need with Plateau. Tried, true. Trusted.
Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply is your one-stop shop for farm and ranch supplies in southeastern New Mexico, with a friendly, knowledgeable team that can help you find the answer to your problems. With brands you know, including Preferred, Pearson, Purina, High Pro Feeds, Ariat, Wrangler, Cinch, Justin Boots, and more. Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply is a proud supporter of area sports, 4-H, FFA, and the farmers and ranchers of tomorrow. Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply, 1105 East 2nd, celebrating being family-owned and operated for 50 years.
Bob Reed Pest Control protects you and your home by controlling pests that invade. Bob Reed Pest Control understands the importance of safety in and around your home from unwanted pests. Protect your family's most important investment, your home, and protect your children and pets from the dangers of poisonous bugs and insects. Call Bob Reed Pest Control today and let our fully licensed pest control professionals start working for you and your family. Find us fast in names and numbers. Call 620 833-5344, serving all of southeast New Mexico.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Turtles can breathe through their butts. We imagine you know some people who do that too, because that's where their heads reside. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 23 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, talking some Eastern New Mexico State Fair, Sal Aguilar back with us. Morning, Sal.
Good morning, Mike. How are you?
You're doing good. How about yourself?
Outstanding.
So I took a break from getting food to everybody to talk little fair businesses.
We're going to go from feeding them to entertaining them.
That's right. But you can grab a taco on the way to the stage here and get you some entertainment there, too. Of course, we are less than a week away from the Eastern New Mexico State Fair. Officially, things start on Monday with the parade and stuff, but really with the preview Friday and then the weekend, everyone getting, you know, kind of settled in and getting, entries in, all that. The fair starts this week. So,
much.
But as far as entertainment and everything else, that'll get underway, right? We'll have the parade Monday morning. And then right after the parade, fairgrounds open up, and beginning that night, we're going to have entertainment on the big stage. And I think every night during the fair, there's going to be some show or some concert.
Every night except Tuesday.
Yeah.
Tuesdays are day off. But
that's the night.
I think there's some other stuff going on in the fair that we don't want to distract from. So
yeah, they
Leslie
actually
will talk all about it.
Yeah, they actually have, I think that's the Random Cowboy special.
That's
and
right.
all that on the big stage that night.
Yeah, so we don't want to distract anybody from that. We want to make sure they get their spotlight too.
Yeah, get do all their stuff there. But if you're looking for great concerts every single night out at the fair now, the great news is, like in years past, all these concerts are free with your admission into the fair. You get into the fair, the concerts are included into your cost into the fair. So you want to see Lee Trevino for the cost of getting into the fair?
That's right.
Friday night's going to be your night.
Can't go wrong.
Absolutely. So I'm kind of curious. Are you part of getting entertainment and stuff? How does that process work?
Yeah, they set me a budget, and we figure out. We try to figure out what people like, what people don't like, and it's always.
Is it like reading the tea leaves basically, and obviously seeing what's available based on schedules?
A lot of it is what's available, and what's worked in the past, and sometimes we try something different. And, kind of go from there.
Because it's always that mix. You always get your classic. Folks that everybody knows, generations know, to your up and comers, or those folks that from time to time you're like, so I'm at the fair, and like 6 months later they're selling out stadiums and things like that. So.
Yeah, we try to get them up and coming. It's been a little bit tougher after COVID, so it's a little bit harder to do now.
Different world, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, even entertainment's still changed, and it's kind of changed forever, I think.
Yeah. I imagine they're the way they do things and how they do things, but nonetheless, we got a great batch of concerts and things.
A little bit of everything. Monday, we're kicking off with a bunch of locals. All the local guys will be able to showcase their talents.
Yeah.
On Wednesday, it's actually a really cool night. We have the NMSU State Band.
Okay.
And what they do, and I had heard of them, and they called and they talked to us, and they put on a show. It's a full band.
Nice.
Backed by a rock band. So they got the guitars, they got the horns.
Nice.
3 vocalists, and they do a lot of really
cool
covers.
So it's like a band rock concert.
Yeah,
kind of
it
thing.
is really, really cool. They do solos and stuff like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
I imagine they do some of the, I know ENMU did it. I want to say NMSU might have also submitted about a year or two ago.
Oh, is that right?
The band Metallica.
Oh,
they offered up a contest where they were going to give a program like $100,000 or $5 or half. I don't remember what it was.
I do remember.
And they were and they all put together basically a set featuring Metallica songs. And I saw those entries online and they blew me away. Yeah. So that's kind of what you're going to be getting.
Yeah, that'll be Wednesday night. And it's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, that'll be really cool. And then
Thursday night we have a cover band. Taylor. Twist on Taylor is what it's called.
Yeah. Well, if you're going to cover a band, you might as well cover arguably our biggest artist on the planet right now.
That's right. So they'll have a lot of that. And then we have an opening band coming from California called Britney's Rage. They're always fun.
Okay.
And then on Friday, like you mentioned earlier, Rick Trevino.
Yep.
Okay, we have Rick Trevino opening, and we have the Groove opening for them.
Excellent.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, that'll be that's kind of your big night there for shows.
Yeah, that's always our busiest night, Friday night.
Yeah, and so I always warn you, get there early to get good seats and stuff. There's going to be folks that, of course, big Rick Trevino fans that are going to make sure they're in front row.
There's quite a few of them out there.
And I would imagine some of those folks probably coming from Texas or places outside of our kind of normal scope to go see those shows.
Yeah.
So
that's always fun. Rick Trevino's always fun. We've worked with him many times.
Sure.
And it's always a solid, fun show. And he interacts with the crowd, and he has no problem meeting the crowd. I mean, he's a really down-to-earth guy.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's one of those guys that you can easily see him in a 30,000-seat arena or in a bar.
That's
right.
You
know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's
He's played them all.
awesome. You know what I mean? So, so you're going to get, and again, you get into the fair that night. Of course, if you're going to, that'll be night one of the rodeo as well, the ranch rodeo. So if you want to get earlier, maybe get there early, watch some rodeo, and then meander over to see the concert, and head back over to rodeo afterwards if you want, or however you want to do that.
Yeah.
But there's so much going on there that you might have to plot and plan a little bit.
Yeah. If you know that you want to see somebody, make sure, check their schedules and all that. Make sure you know what time they're coming on. That way you don't miss them. Because there's plenty to do in the fair. No matter what time it is.
The best, your best friend's going to be, go to the Eastern New Mexico State Fair's website. It's www.enmsf.com. And you'll see the complete schedule of events. There's an entertainment tab that's got the whole entertainment schedule. Not only for the concerts on the big stage, but when like Ron Diamond, he was going to be out and about each and every day. Rocket Man, that's going to be out.
I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, that's going to be a really cool thing. Another part of the daily stuff that's just going on out there. Like you said, the jazz band, that's going to be Tuesday or Thursday night there.
Wednesday
night there. But yeah, some of these the different kind of daily stuff and all that. You can see the schedule. That Studio Plus is going to be doing a thing one of the night on Saturday out there.
They're always fun to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. Some more local young folks there doing their thing. And so you can see that whole schedule on the fair website there. And then, of course, you compare that along with the other schedule events for, the different livestock shows, the rodeos and everything else there. And, of course, you can see flyers on all the main entertainment acts for the week. That way, if you want to get a little bit familiar on the Taylor Swift tribute concert, or maybe if you're like trying to educate your kids on Rick Trevino, whatever.
It's all part of education. It's important.
And of course, we don't want to miss Saturday night too. You got some, you got a great band on Saturday night.
We have Norteño bands, like Conjunto Savache. They've been around for years. They're from California.
Yeah.
They do a great job. And then we have some great openers. We have cumbias, and then Los Consentidos.
They usually start around
Roswell.
noon on Saturday, right? Usually noon.
We're going to do, I think that's 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
Yeah.
So they'll start firing up on the main stage there.
It's a little bit warm at noon.
Yeah, that's true too.
We don't have that many people out there early, so poor bands are just cooking.
Yeah, that is true. You want to wait till it gets about dusk, but
until the sun is behind you and then you get a little more shade.
Either that, or I can find a way to get just a bigger, I don't know, thing over the stage. Just keep going down and down in a bubble. But definitely Saturday's a great, it's traditionally kind of like you said, Tejano Day, or and it's usually just a great, and of course Carnival opens early that day, and kind of the big last hurrah of the fair is that Saturday there. So
that's right. Yeah, it's going to be fun. We've been doing this for years and years. I love the support from the fair board. We get a lot of support from them. Thank them. They help us out with everything.
Absolutely.
But yeah, and I don't know if Leslie mentioned that, but we're doing another stage with the magician.
Oh, okay.
And we'll be featuring some local artists there as well.
Excellent
throughout the week.
So there'll be some musical acts and some they do variety.
Some acoustic. Not as big bands. The production's a little bit smaller, but we'll be featuring some solo artists, stuff like that there too.
Well, this is something that Roswell's kind of blessed with. You're obviously well plugged on this. We have quite an arts and entertainment community, and we're not maybe Santa Fe Taos and that stuff going on up there, but as far as music scene and entertainment scene, we've got and it's pretty broad. Anything from Latin to country to rock and roll to different stuff.
There's everything.
And so we can use, this is great. We got a second stage to kind of showcase. So if you're not hanging out in some of our restaurants and coffee shops on a Friday, Saturday night, or you can come out the fair and see them.
And the main focus of that stage is for the magic show, but we're trying to fill some gaps with some local music and just feature some local artists too.
Well, is there something going on? People linger longer and hang out and and go and see what else they have to offer and just see Of course, you're going into the commercial building and take advantage of all the great stuff in there and making sure you hit that's the fair experience. You go and plot and plan. I always like to say this every time, that regardless of what topics we're talking about with the fair, no matter what, with next week being the fair, if you do use Facebook or I think, is it Instagram? I always forget what the other
Facebook, Instagram, X, and whatever you use.
I invite you to like and follow the Eastern New Mexico State Fair's page. Because that is the quickest way to get updates and changes. We are at the mercy of weather sometimes, and if weather alters a schedule or we have to move something or change something or cancel something, that's the first place it goes up. So that way you're the first plugged in. If you're like, oh, tonight's my night out to the fair, and you look and they say, ooh, windy out there, they're going to delay the rides or whatever it is, that's the first place that's going to be posted. So I always tell people, like and follow if you don't already. Do that way you can get the latest information on what's going on at the fair that day.
Yeah, and staff is very good about posting updates there and to the minute. They know what's going on and they put it out there quickly. So,
absolutely.
If you want to know what's going on, definitely do like that page.
Absolutely,
they'll keep you up posted.
Yeah, and the other thing is one thing that and of course the staff, the board, everybody that's part of the fair are quite well versed in missing children protocols and things like that. Almost every single fair, there's going to be at least one or two children that get lost, and we have to enact or implement the lost child protocol here. This is, I always tell kids, especially with the day and age of smartphone, it's so much easier. Especially if you got the young kids. I mean, maybe your 17-year-old, you don't have to do this too, but your younger kids, take a picture of them before you go into the park or with their clothes on that they're wearing at the park. And if something does happen, then you can show the search folks, law enforcement, etc., a picture. Say, this is my child. This is what they're wearing the same clothes. This is them right now, and that'll be a huge asset for them because what happens is they lock down the fairgrounds when there's a lost child. No one gets in, no one gets out, and they lock it down and they scour until they find the lost child. And usually 5-10 minutes is usually pretty quick. Yeah. But
they've always been good about that.
But the more stuff you do proactive like that, the easier it will be to implement those. I always recommend, have the family plan. If you get separated, pick a popular landmark meet at the Ferris wheel, meet at the ice cream booth, whatever that is. Pick that spot and, say if we get separated, to head there and we'll all meet there. But have a plan for that kind of stuff because, especially Friday, Saturday night, some of those nights, there's a lot of people and it's very easy for the kids to get separated in that commercial building there, or someone stops to look at something, everyone keeps going. Next thing you know, where's Johnny?
It's happened to us, and we got to split up and look for the kids. You know?
And so I just have a plan to that way. Because it really does. They make it so everything's locked down and no one's getting in or out until your child is, and as it should be. But to make it a little easier on everybody and keep everybody from, let's go, have those things handy, and that way that streamlines that so much, and it's just so much easier because they know it's like, oh, we're looking for a kid in an Iron Man T-shirt or whatever.
There's like 50 of those.
But at least you got to look. And so. But again, picking your entertainment, go to the website, and that way you can, plan the nights that you got to make sure you don't want to miss out at the Eastern New Mexico State Fair, and come check out the entertainment. Come visit everything. We always come out and you go to the commercial building, you ride the rides, you see the concerts, but please do not forget to go visit the livestock ring and the education building, and see why they're. All the other stuff is there at the fairgrounds. That's what it's for, those kids. If you've never, maybe you don't live in the 4-H FFA world, so you don't show animals and stuff. I'm one of those people. I didn't grow up in that world. But I will tell you this, if you're not entertained by watching one of those shows, you don't know. It's just fun.
Yeah, these kids, they work all year for this.
I love watching those kids, especially when it's the little kids with the big animals. Because you think, how are they going to do this? And every time they impress me, these kids that are probably 75 pounds soaking wet, maybe 3 foot tall, and they're just handling a 800-pound animal. That's just what they're doing.
And it's like they've done it 100 times.
Exactly, because you know what happens if I try that? It would be a hot mess. So,
Yep.
So please come out and celebrate that part of the fair too. And when you go into the education building, you're going to see some beautiful artwork from adults, from children. And you're probably not going to be able to tell which one's the adults and the children. Sometimes you're like, wow, that's a beautiful painting. And then you look and it's a 7-year-old that did it. And you're like, oh my gosh, that blew me away. And you could literally spend hours in those buildings too. So if it does get a little warm or something, those are air conditioned buildings. So call it your cool escape, but spend some time and check out some of the cool stuff in there while you're there too.
Arts and crafts, everything. There's plenty to do.
Check out the model railroaders. Check out the pumpkin.
That's always fun.
The pumpkin. The guys going for the biggest pumpkins every year. Those big gelatinous things are usually in that education building too.
They're fun to watch.
And then come out and see some great shows. And come and to be honest, this might be the cheapest way you're ever going to see Taylor Swift.
That's right. I've seen those tickets. They ain't cheap.
Yeah, they're not cheap. People are taking out second loans to go see Taylor Swift. So.
Yep.
Good deal. Sal, is there anything we wanted to cover? Anything that we mentioned there?
I think we got it all. Yeah, we got it all.
Excellent. Very good.
Thank you.
Well, thanks
for having me.
Anytime, and don't work too hard, and we'll see you out at the fair.
Cool. We'll see you there.
Excellent. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. It is closing in on 8:40. Let's pause for news and your Chaves County sports update. Don't go away.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Cirillo. Roswell firefighters rescued 2 people from a burning house Saturday morning in East Roswell. A 60-year-old man and 61-year-old woman were found inside the home by firefighters conducting a search when they got to the scene in the 1100 block of East Walnut Street at about 8:30 in the morning. Both victims were taken to a local hospital and then transferred to another hospital elsewhere for further treatment. The cause of the fire has not yet been determined. The fire remains under investigation by the RFD Fire Marshal's office. Hundreds of thousands of additional New Mexico residents will soon be eligible for food stamps as the state expands its Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program benefit eligibility. SNAP recipients aged 60 and older and those with disabilities will see their state supplement go up. The minimum benefit will go up from $32 to about $100 a month. The change will impact more than 26,000 households statewide. The increase will cost the state about $14 million. An HCA spokesperson says New Mexico will use state general funds to pay for the increase. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. Let's do a little backtracking and catch you up with some boys soccer from over the weekend and what's coming up. In fact, we got a couple of games going on today. Roswell High will be playing at Lovington. That's a game that features an 8-4 Coyotes team against a Lovington team that's 5-6. So Roswell didn't play actually over the weekend. It'll be NMMI playing this afternoon in its district opener at Socorro. NMMI over the weekend took care of business against Robertson by a score of 6-1. The Colts are 4-5, but that game was only 2-0 at halftime before NMMI opened it up in the second half. Socorro, the opponent today, is 2-8. NMMI is 4-5. Game time is at 4:00. Goddard lost to Los Alamos on Saturday 2-0. The sports report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We've got high pressure setting up over the Four Corners, and that'll be covering our area for the next few days. Pretty warm today, upper 80s and low 90s. Should be sunny through the day. Overnight will be clear, our low dropping to 60, and then we'll be in the upper 80s for the high again on Wednesday, and sunny. Warming up a little bit on Thursday. We're back in the low 90s and then upper 80s on Friday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
All across America, this is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report.
I'm James Flippin. U.S. stocks opened higher Monday, but wobbled in a choppy session overall. The market looking to build on last week's momentum. In yesterday's economic data, the Purchasing Managers Index from S&P Global showed faster price growth and slower private sector growth in September. S&P's chief economist noting that suggests the Fed needs to keep a close eye on its inflation target while easing its monetary policy. And today we'll get the S&P Case-Shiller Home Price Index for July. Also this morning, consumer confidence for September is due. In company-specific news, sales of the new iPhone 16 are expected to set records. According to analysts at Wedbush, demand for the AI-powered Apple smartphone is strong, with initial sales tracking 8 to 10 million units ahead of the iPhone 16's record-breaking debut. Close to 500,000 GM pickup trucks and SUVs are being recalled due to issues with the low brake fluid warning system. The U.S. National Highway Traffic Safety Administration announced on Friday a software malfunction may prevent vehicles from displaying a warning light if brake fluid is low. That is the Market Report, and I'm James Flippin.
This is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report.
There are black beans, and then there are Goya black beans. Whole, plump, delicious, and loved by all kinds of chefs. The professional chefs at Chef's Best love them so much, they awarded our beans their Excellence Award. At Home Chefs love them so much, they awarded our beans the internationally acclaimed Goya black beans. Whole, plump, and oh so delicious. Find them in the Goya section of your local grocery store. If it's Goya, it has to be good.
What? My trade's gotta be worth more than this! Hey, Roswell and surrounding areas, don't get hit hard by low trade offers. Right now, the all-new Roswell Ford needs your trade. That means you'll get top dollar for your trade. Stuck in your loan or lease, Roswell Ford wants to get you released, even if you owe thousands more than your trade is worth. So you can drive a new Ford or quality pre-owned vehicle for a lot less. For a limited time, get 0% APR or no payments till 2025. Plus, we have a great selection of low-mileage, one-owner pre-owned vehicles, all in prime condition, starting at just $10,000. Don't settle for a low-quality, overpriced clunker. Buy a quality pre-owned vehicle from Roswell Ford for a lot less. Roswell Ford has partnered with the most aggressive lenders that will push to approve you today, even with bad or no credit. Lower prices, exceptional trade-in values, and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford with new management and a whole new attitude. 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell, or online at roswellford.com. 0 APR for 36 months is $27.78 per thousand financed on select models. No payments till 2025. Subject to lender approval through Ford credit. Offers not combined.
The Eastern New Mexico State Fair and the Hondo Rodeo Company present the 3rd annual Pecos Valley Stampede, October 4th and 5th, 6 p.m. at the Bob Crosby Arena north of the fairgrounds, featuring trailer loading, open ranch bronc riding, daily knot tying, stray gathering, and wild cow milking, plus calf scramble, mutton busting, and mini bull riding for the kids. And admission to the rodeo is free with your paid admission to the fair. Call 575-910-4962 to get your team signed up. The 3rd annual Pecos Valley Stampede Ranch Rodeo, October 4th and 5th at the Bob Crosby Arena, and paid for by the City of Roswell Lodgers Tax.
The weather is changing, and what is cooler than being at the Cow? Well, we can't think of anything. The Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop in Roswell is your authorized Brothers sewing machine dealer for Southeast New Mexico, and they're all on sale right now at the Calico Cow. New fabric styles for fall are here, and holiday and Christmas fabrics continue to arrive daily. If you're still stitched to your own machine and you just want a tune-up, call for in-house maintenance, 575-639-2586. The Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop, 200 East College in Roswell. Want to know how? Come see the Cow.
Today we're going to give you the 5th key to a great marriage, taken from Drs. Les and Leslie Perot. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage. The 5th key is commitment, living the love you promised.
Galatians 6:9 says, "And let us not get tired of doing what is right, for after a while we will reap a harvest of blessing if we don't get discouraged and give up." You know, one of the keys to commitment is just deciding in your heart, I'm never giving up on God, I'm never giving up on my marriage, I'm never giving up on my family.
Commitment is a promise made and kept by 2 imperfect people. It's good for our kids to see that problems happen and we're committed to solving them together.
If you want all 5 keys to a great marriage, you can go to our website at jomconference.com.
ultimate Wi-Fi experience is now available to you thanks to Smart Home Wi-Fi with Plateau. Get fiber-to-home technology 100 times faster than average household internet speed. Plateau has multiple plans and options to fit your family. With Fast, get true 100 megs per second download and upload speed. With Faster, get true 500 megs of download and upload speeds. And with Fastest, you get 1 gig. Learn more at plateautel.com. Get the speed you need with Plateau. Tried, true, trusted.
A good night's sleep is so important, and issues like sleep apnea make falling asleep and staying asleep nearly impossible, but we can help. I'm Dr. Sarah Usher at Carabelli Dental. With the help of a simple oral appliance, your sleepless nights could be a thing of the past. But don't take my word for it, just ask Lainey.
My name is Lainey Smith. I wasn't surprised when I found out I had sleep apnea simply because I had a horrible sleep pattern. I attempted to use the machine and it drove me nuts and I could not sleep with it. And then that's when Dr. Agger told me about the oral appliance. I would suspect I've been using it for 2 years now. In all of that time, I've had less than 10 poor nights of sleep. It's a complete game changer. I feel a lot better because I sleep.
This simple appliance can change your life. Call us today to set up your appointment so you can finally get the good night's sleep you need.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell or call 575-622-4455.
Eastern New Mexico University is proud to announce our newest offering, a Master of Social Work degree. This 100% online, affordable master's degree has 3 concentrations: clinical, clinical military, and children, youth, and families. This online master's degree is perfect for the working professional, as you can earn your degree on your own time with our flexible online courses. For more information, visit www.enmu.edu/MSW. Eastern New Mexico University, student success. That's what we're about.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Alaska is the only state name that can be typed on one row of keys. Go ahead and try typing the other 49 states. We'll wait. Here's Mike Winters.
Good morning. It is closing in on 8:50. Got a few minutes here before top of the hour news. Next hour, we'll talk Historical Society and we'll talk more fair. We'll have Leslie Robertson join us. Talk about the Eastern New Mexico State Fair Parade, which will get underway on Monday. And then we'll also have Amy McVeigh-Tejas and John LeMay join us from the Historical Society, talking about the Historic Book Fair. That's going to be happening on Saturday, October 12th. That is an awesome event where we get donations from the Historical Society, books, things like that, to put in our archives, and rare, out-of-print, unique books, particularly ones dealing with local areas, local authors, local things. But sometimes we get multiple copies of a book, and we keep the good ones. We'll take the best. If it's got the dust jacket, then the better. We'll combine it and cannibalize it and keep the best book. But if we have multiple extras of ones, occasionally we'll have one of these book fairs where we'll sell the extras, and that money goes back into the preserving of the other archives and running the day-to-day of the Historical Society. So that we're going to have another one of those events on October the 12th. I always put the caveat in. Like I said, we keep the good stuff. We're not selling away or giving away the stuff that the people. This is just other stuff that we have multiples of. We don't need 10 copies of this particular book. We do have limited space in our archives facility to house this stuff. And so we've got to be good stewards of exactly what goes in that limited space. So that's why we have these. So this is a chance for folks that do like to collect books that are out of print, rare, things like that. Let's come by and help out the Historical side at the same time. Great news is we'll have like John and some of our other local authors there with their latest books, signing copies of that as well and talking. John will be there, of course, with his newest book, talking about La Llorona, her kith and kin, which we've actually talked a little bit about on the show with him over. It's a pretty interesting book here, as all of his books are. But plus they'll have mystery bags, and then also too, usually part of the event is like there's some books that we get donated that aren't valuable or noteworthy. They're just old. Just because something's old doesn't mean it's valuable sometimes. And so we do have books that are, they got the old leather mahogany dust jackets, or you know what I mean, the mahogany bound. So we got some of those books that look nice on shelves but aren't valuable. So if you like to decorate, we'll have some of those usually at the book fair as well, too.
I love a nice leather-bound book.
Yes.
Especially one that smells of honestly, there's one smell that is universal, and I've brought this up in the past, but your wife is very familiar with this smell, but the Scholastic Book Fair.
Mm-hmm.
Every single one of these book fairs that I've been to since I was in like third grade, it smells exactly the same.
That new book smell?
That new book smell mixed with the old books of the library. So it makes this like weird new old book concoction that you really can't replicate it, but it's
a potpourri of old and new.
It's I was at one of my kids' book fairs recently. It was like late last or at the late part of their last year, which was earlier this year. And I just walked into the book fair part and I'm just like, oh my God, it smells exactly like stickers and erasers and just that combination of just the new books with like the plastic on them. So they had that kind of like plasticky smell.
And the thing about kids' new books, the hardcover ones particularly, they make a very audible sound when you open them for the first time. It sounds like it's like, and it's always those, and it's kids' hardcover books that are probably 20, 30 pages in length, probably. But you open those binders and break those binders for the first time, and it's that audible noise. And,
it's a sense memory. It's really what it comes down to.
I would argue it's the peeling of the plastic off your new phone of the.
That is, yeah, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. Or when you're gifted one you didn't expect, like you get like a new camera or something, and there's like one over the lens. You're like, oh, I didn't think that was going to be there. Slowly peel it off.
Yeah,
that is one of my weird not obsessions, but I definitely enjoy it.
You ever? I always like when you've owned a product for a good long time, and then you didn't realize it was on there, and it comes off, and you're like, oh, I didn't even know it was there.
Right, and it's so satisfying because it's such a clean cover.
Yeah,
now.
and you're like, oh.
Right,
and then you're like, should I put it back?
I know, and then there's a bubble over it. It'll never.
Right.
Yeah,
it
never works out the same way.
Once the genie's out the bottle, can't put it back in.
That's true. That's very, very true. But yeah, that sense memory is one of those that just takes me straight back to when I was a kid.
Yeah, there's certain ones that hit me, like there's a distinct smell when you hit like certain parts of historical, and it's usually in Virginia, and I'm sure it's like the crepe myrtles or some of the bushes or trees that just seem to be common on these properties.
Right.
But like you walk around and it always hits me, especially when you go to like Williamsburg or Mount Vernon or places of that nature. And it all has that same smell, and it's a smell I love. It's just, it's like
it's the smell of home.
Yeah.
It doesn't, like I've said this, I was saying this the other day. I'm very odd in that I enjoy the smell of skunk because I know the town I grew up in, Medill, Oklahoma. For some reason, every time you drive in any direction towards Oklahoma, whether it be from Durant, from Ardmore, from one of the other little city, whatever, it just, as you were getting closer to Medill, it smelled like skunk. So that smell just always takes me straight back home.
Sure.
I'm not like looking for a candle with it or something.
I'm sure there's like people that grew up in Artesia that have gone away and they come back like, oh, there's the smell. Panama City is in Florida, Panama City, Florida, not Panama City in Panama.
Right.
But I got to go there when I was a teenager. We were with a family vacation thing, and it's a cool city in the fact that it's in the Panhandle of Florida.
Right.
And it's a cool city because there is beach and you get to go all that. But there's a paper mill, and so the whole town has a smell, and it just doesn't.
Just that wet pulp.
Yeah. Now it's
not pleasant. It's like people who.
This was in the late '80s when I was there, but
right. Well, I grew up in Texoma, in that region of Texas where there was a lot of hog farms or hog processing plants nearby. So you just get that smell of, even the bad smells will, take you back.
Yeah.
It's not a pleasant one, but he's like, oh, dang it.
Evokes a sense memory.
Home.
You just reminded me of our trip to Las Cruces and how we went to Cloudcroft on the way there.
Yeah.
And there was it actually did smell like skunk.
Yeah.
Through Cloudcroft.
Nice.
You know why?
Why? Well,
'Cause there's a skunk.
There was a dead skunk in the middle of the road, stinking to high heaven. Yeah.
Breaking out a little Loudon Wainwright III. Look at you.
Yeah. It's Gene's fault.
I know, right?
Did y'all sing that on the way home?
Yeah, he played it on this on the
I
player.
just imagine a road trip with Gene's involves some symbols of 99 bottles of beer on the wall.
I've been on a few with Gene.
Yeah.
There was one time where he got sick. We went to Rio Rancho to call a football game.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it's a pumpkin spice latte or Rudy's barbecue, but
Oh, that's a rough combo anyways.
but about halftime he started feeling it, and I remember that was a long trip home because I ended up driving his truck home, and we had to stop like 4 times to pull over to see the weeds.
Mm-hmm.
So we went and saw the weeds. It was a long night. Yeah.
That is just any combination of like heavy meat and cream. You're not going to have a nice ending to that.
Our trip
story.
to Rio Rancho. The Ralph story.
The Ralph story.
Yep. There's something else I was going to mention. I forgot what it was. Oh well. I guess leading out the window.
And it's gone.
And it's disappeared.
That's right.
Do stay tuned next hour. We are
Yes.
going to talk Historical Society. We're also going to talk Fair Parade. All of that next hour. So 2 guests. We'll get it all in.
Dang.
So, yeah.
Dude, double duty.
Yeah, it's kind of, it's just 2 ships passing in the night, and the ships,
Mm-hmm. Oh, I understand. Night passing ships.
That's right.
So, it's
Message
very,
in a bottle.
Very complicated.
Pure pigeons. All that stuff.
Totally.
All right, it is closing in on 9 o'clock. You are, in fact, listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. Stretch. Yeah. I'm tired. Sorry. I'm better at this when I'm not sick, I promise. We'll be back on the other side of news. Don't go away. Thanks for listening.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. It's his last appearance before the UN Security Council as President of the United States. President Biden addressed the world body this morning. Speech comes at a time of wars and rumors of wars all around the world.
Things can get better. We should never forget that. I've seen that throughout my career.
Mr. Biden says, as leaders, those in his audience, when surveying a tumultuous global scene, don't have the luxury to give in to despair. Israeli airstrikes continue pounding away at Hezbollah targets in Lebanon, going after rocket launchers that are often hidden in residential neighborhoods.
Israeli warplanes are striking targets across southern and eastern Lebanon in what has become the deadliest day in that country since the 2006 war. Israel and Hezbollah have been exchanging fire almost daily for nearly a year since Israel went to war against Hamas militants in Gaza. But the tensions have been rising over the past week.
That's correspondent Joseph Fetterman. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu accusing the terrorists of using Lebanese civilians as human shields. Florida's Gulf Coast bracing for a possible hit by what could become a major hurricane in just a few days.
Tampa, Fort Myers area, you need to have your preparedness done by sunset Wednesday. You have your preparedness done sunset Wednesday, and then up into the Florida Big Bend Nature Coast early Thursday morning.
That's Jamie Rome at the National Hurricane Center. He says right now the storm is building strength over the warm waters of the Caribbean. Students have gone back to classes today at Appalachia High School in Winder, Georgia. This weeks after a teenage gunman killed 2 students as well as 2 teachers. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. The prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in Flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with the best price guarantee. If you want the lowest price on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest fare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Minister has pleaded guilty to charges of accepting illegal gifts. The Asian Financial Hub's first ministerial criminal trial in almost half a century.
He was charged with 35 charges, including receiving gifts as a public servant, corruption and obstructing the course of justice, all of which he denied. But as soon as the trial started, the prosecutors actually reduced the charges. They dropped the corruption charges. Now he will be charged under a section of the law that makes it an offence to receive gifts as a public servant.
The BBC's Saranjana Tiwari. Workers set to begin the reconstruction of the 400-year-old old stock exchange in Copenhagen, some 5 months after a devastating fire destroyed more than half of the building. Officials say it will be faithful to how the iconic landmark once appeared and will return it to its former glory. Townhall.com. Attention Kmart shoppers, the end is near.
The erstwhile retail giant, renowned for its blue light specials, is shuttering its last full-scale store in the mainland United States. The store, located in Swank, Bridgehampton, New York on Long Island, is slated to close October 20th. That's according to Denise Rivera, an employee who answered the phone at the store late Monday. That will leave only a small Kmart store in Miami. The retailer closed its last New Jersey store last year. It has a handful of stores in Guam and in the U.S. Virgin Islands. In its heyday, there were more than 2,000 Kmarts in the U.S. Keith Peters reporting.
The Dow, which closed at yet another record high yesterday, is struggling to move higher still this morning. The blue chip index is up 107 points, while the Nasdaq Composite Index is 13 points lower, and the S&P is down a fraction. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3 of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy.
Falls in the air. I mean, yeah, the afternoons are still kind of a big
Falls
suck
in the morning.
sandwich.
Yeah.
Falls in the mornings and the evenings. But definitely enjoying the Christmas, you know?
Yeah, you get like 2.5 seasons all in one day right now. So.
Well, it's traditional in New Mexico to dress in layers. You know, much like a well put together burrito.
Yes.
Or an onion or an ogre. Layers.
Or a dip.
Or a nice layered dip, yes. Although I always feel bad for that bottom layer. It never gets the love that it should.
I wish my wife liked 7-layer dip as much as I do.
Is she not a fan?
Not a fan.
It is asking a lot as a dip. It's a combination of a lot of a lot of different flavors. It kind of hits you from all different
But
sides.
sometimes it just hits. Because it's enough there to be hard to be a meal.
Sure.
But doesn't happen.
No, I get where you're coming from for sure, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure exactly how I feel about it. One way or the other.
And the only thing is, I don't have a hankering often for a 7-layer dip.
Mhm.
But when I do, I have to eat the entire thing because my wife doesn't want any of it. And I'm like, I just want you to help me eat it.
So, okay, the 7 layers, you got your beans, you got your sour cream guacamole,
salsa.
Salsa layer, an onion layer.
Sometimes there's a beef layer.
Some kind of
meat layer.
Yeah. Protein layer.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the death zone at the bottom.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't counted all the products. I just know they call it 7-layer dip, and I dip my chip in it.
That is a reminder. I miss the 7-layer burrito. They used to do that at over at the Taco Bell, but they took it off the menu, I think, in like 2019. They dropped it down to like the 5-layer or something, beefy 5-layer.
Maybe they'll bring it back.
I just want my 2 layers back, you know?
Maybe they'll bring it back.
I was robbed of my 2 layers.
Like, isn't the enchilada back?
I've heard the enchilada is back. I have also heard the caramel apple empanada is making a comeback.
Okay.
That was legit the best thing to the fast food menu, and it was a game changer back in the day. Made me the man I am today.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm hit or miss on some Taco Bell things. I have hankerings where and then I don't want to touch them.
They brought the cheesy fiesta potatoes back, and they weren't as good. Something was different. I couldn't put my finger on it, but something was different.
Yeah. All I care now is steak bagels. They're back, and Law's right in the world. With
yes. Steak has returned.
I get one once a week, whether I need it or not.
Right? I've thought about it. It's like, it is an awful lot of sandwich.
So good, though.
It is. It really is.
I'd give her a dance on another bread vessel.
I worry that a biscuit and that steak and onion combo isn't going to hold up quite as well.
Well, it works delightfully on a McMuffin.
Sure. McMuffin is real hit or miss for me. If it's the whatever meat is in there has to be like a bacon McMuffin does not work.
A steak, egg, and cheese McMuffin does work. I've had it in my hand and in my belly.
In my hand
and
belly.
it worked very well.
I'll have to give it a dance. See what we're dealing with.
Yes, absolutely. Hey, we got a busy hour. So
yes, we do.
Let's get her going. Like I said, we're going to have Adrienne Ragsdale's going to join us here in just a few minutes to talk Eastern New Mexico State Fair Parade.
Yes.
What we're going to put a focus on here, which kind of officially kicks off the Eastern New Mexico State Fair. So
we like to start with a flourish, you know?
That's right. But technically, the fair starts before the parade.
Yes.
If you want to get all.
But never mind all that.
That's right.
There's nothing to see here.
That's right. Oh, see some of it.
Well, yeah. Okay.
But it's unofficial. You know, call it like on the down low. You're like the Telly Savalas Players Club version.
It's like VIP.
That's right.
Yeah, go while you're still VIP status. Don't go after the parade when you're just P.
That's right. You don't want to be. Yeah, when you're
nobody
a VI,
wants to be P when you can be VI.
That's exactly right. No P is greater than with a VI.
That's right. I would honestly at this stage in the game I would accept IP as long as I'm just important people, not very. Like, I don't got to matter. I just got to, like, you know.
Could you be a KIP? A KIP?
I feel like I could be a KIP.
Kind of important people.
Kind of important?
Yeah.
Slightly? A SIP?
Or then you go to the other one, and do you know who I am?
God.
That's the other.
That's worked every time, by the way.
Yeah.
Anytime you need, like, entrance into, like, a venue or an event, just drop the don't you know who I am? Or, even better, do you have any idea who my father is? Those are all those work every time. And you'll be lauded for it. They'll put you up on their shoulders. They'll you'll be made the king of the event.
They will hop too very quickly.
That's true. It works every time. Give it a shot.
Absolutely.
Also, start conversations with your wife with the phrase "your stupid mother." Every time. Fun times will commence.
Good times are had by all.
That's right.
All right, it is 9:11, almost 9:12. Let's do this. Let's take a quick 2-minute break, 2.5-minute break, and then we're going to talk Fair Parade with Adrienne Ragsdale on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
The Roswell Symphony Orchestra is warming up for their 66th season, and you're invited to opening night with KO Plays Elgar, Saturday, October 12th, 7:30 p.m. at Pearson Auditorium in Roswell. Brahms' Academic Festival Overture and Elgar's Concerto for Cello and Orchestra bookends the world premiere of Bucolic Celebration, written by Southeast New Mexico's own Mark Del Porto. Tickets are available now online at roswellsymphony.org or at the door. Get your tickets now, then come be a part of opening night of the historic 66th season of the Roswell Symphony Orchestra, sponsored in part by the City of Roswell Lodgers Tax.
At Artesia General Hospital, we know it's early, but schedule your mammogram today and save. Call 855-RAD-EXAM and save 10% off mammograms scheduled through October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And get a refreshing drink discount from Kith & Kin in Artesia or Blue House in Carlsbad. We use leading-edge, FDA-approved Genius 3D mammography technology to deliver more accurate results faster and with more comfort. Women over 40 do not need a referral for yearly screenings. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/mammogram.
What? My trade's gotta be worth more than this! Hey, Roswell and surrounding areas, don't get hit hard by low trade offers. Right now, the all-new Roswell Ford needs your trade. That means you'll get top dollar for your trade. Stuck in your loan or lease, Roswell Ford wants to get you released, even if you owe thousands more than your trade is worth. So you can drive a new Ford or quality pre-owned vehicle for a lot less. For a limited time, get 0% APR or no payments till 2025. Plus, we have a great selection of low-mileage, one-owner pre-owned vehicles, all in prime condition, starting at just $10,000. Don't settle for a low-quality, overpriced clunker. Buy a quality pre-owned vehicle from Roswell Ford for a lot less. Roswell Ford has partnered with the most aggressive lenders that will push to approve you today, even with bad or no credit. Lower prices, exceptional trade-in values, and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford with new management and a whole new attitude. 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell or online at roswellford.com. 0 APR for 36 months is $27.78 per thousand financed on select models. No payments till 2025. Subject to lender approval through Ford credit. Offers not combined.
The Fall into Savings sales event is on now at Roswell Hyundai, the home of Get a 24 Hyundai Tucson SE just $442 a month, or a 24 Hyundai Elantra SEL just $379 a month, and test drive the all-new 25 Hyundai Santa Fe Hybrid, rugged and ready for wherever the road takes you. 0 down and no payments for 90 days on select vehicles, and don't forget to sign up to win one of 2 65-inch 4K smart TVs to be given away September 21st and 28th at 1 p.m. The Fall into Savings sales event on now at the home of Roswell Hyundai, 1909 West 2nd.
Playing dance music can help ward off mosquitoes. Now you have a reason to invite Pitbull to your next pool party. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 15 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, talking some more Eastern New Mexico State Fair, Adrienne Ragsdale back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Well, probably, I'm sure you're probably running around kind of with the chicken with a head cut off right now, so probably a little bit better than you.
That might be a stretch to say good, but, we'll go with it.
Yes, we are days away from Eastern New Mexico State Fair, officially Monday, but really it's this week is when stuff starts.
Things are moving.
Yeah, the preview day, of course, everyone starts bringing their projects, their animals. That's all. They're I imagine even as early as today, you're starting to see some entries and things starting to show up on the parade or the fairgrounds here and everything else too.
We do. We all the arts and crafts that come out this week, and animals. Livestock is this weekend.
They'll be coming. But I think some of the crafts and stuff will start showing up this week.
The arts and crafts. They work so hard all year, and there's so many entries that.
Yeah, and they do all the judge and all that technically before the fair. So when you go through the doors on Monday, all this has been judged. All the it's there with the blue ribbons and everything on it, ready to go. And,
exactly.
And pro tip: don't eat the cookies like day 3. They're not that good. But the official kickoff of the Eastern New Mexico State Fair is the parade, which will take place here on Monday. It will be at 10 a.m., just like always here. But there will be a few differences in kind of how things happen at this year's parade.
So this year, we're moving our judges. They used to park at the courthouse.
Yeah, they had a little trailer they'd kind of sit on. Yeah,
had a podium, and everybody stopped and performed. And now this year, our judges are going to be staggered throughout the parade route.
Just amongst the crowd.
Right.
Okay.
So everybody can just put on their best the whole route.
Okay, so you don't have to do your performances kind of like in the Macy's parade and down, there was that main spot where the TV is.
Right.
You don't have to do it in the courthouse lawn where all the judges are. You could start it anywhere up and down Main Street there.
Right. And so we've, the goal is to eliminate the breaks, to keep it flowing, to keep it moving.
Yeah, sometimes we get those gaps that happen.
It happens, and I still think it probably will happen a little bit, but for the most part, it's a safety issue. It's a lot of things, but we're going to try it.
This is the biggest parade in Chaves County by far, the Eastern New Mexico State Fair parade. It's 100+ floats every year, and it's a lot of moving parts.
It is. It is definitely a lot of moving parts, a lot of little hands, a lot of wheels, a lot of people.
But it comes off without a hitch every single year, and I know that's kind of your baby. That's kind of your baby. You're the one. You're the kind of the gatekeeper for all this.
It is.
Here.
I've been doing the parade for a while, and we just.
But as far as the route goes, is that pretty much that a little different?
Everything's the same.
Okay, so they'll come out the Wool Bowl parking lot, come on Main Street, head south towards the fairgrounds, and usually around, was it Summit, somewhere around there?
Yeah, usually everybody unloads it.
Yeah, right around Summit there.
Yeah, Canto parking lot.
Can't say Sears no more because
I know
people are like, Sears, where's that?
Nobody knows what that means. But we have some new judges, and they're excited. They're looking forward to it, and it's kind of been a group effort. I reached out to some of the a bunch of the organizations that perform routinely in this community. And so they've all been given an opportunity to come out and perform at the fairgrounds.
Oh, cool.
Because they do, a lot of these groups, they work so hard, and we want to be able to showcase them. And they all have kind of walking routines that they're going to do. But we'll post the schedule, and so they'll be out at the fairgrounds performing too. So.
Yeah. All week during the fair, you'll see. I know I was looking at the entertainment schedule, like Studio Plus, one of those. Right. I think they're going to be on Saturday doing a presentation out on the stage out there and doing but that's kind of all the week. And then we had Sal on last hour, and of course they've added a stage with the magician, so they're going to be adding some other local bands and stuff too. So you're going to see some local, not just our kids, but also local artists and bands that they're going to be on that side stage throughout the week, just kind of filling time too. So a lot of local entertainment's going to be out there, along with all the big acts and stuff too.
Right.
But as far as parade goes, like you do normally, get you a good spot anywhere on Main Street, from Wool Bowl south to about Summit. But like we said, because the courthouse lawn isn't necessarily the main hub, you don't necessarily have to go and get that spot to see all the different performances and stuff. You have an equal shot whether you're in front of McDonald's or down farther south there.
People like that shady spot at the courthouse. So I still think
it is going to be a
packed.
popular spot. It's a great place for lawn chairs, and it's a great place to let the kids run a little bit because there's the courthouse lawn there too.
Right,
and
I do think that groups may pause a little bit just out of habit.
Old traditions die hard, and there are going to be a few that stop right there to do their show, which is awesome. That's nothing wrong with that.
Like I said, it's the goal is to keep it moving.
You just don't have
like
to.
I said, for everybody just to. Perform the whole time.
Absolutely.
And show their best the whole way down.
Keep having fun.
Which they always do.
Celebrate. Yeah, and that's just it. It's fun because the parade is really a celebration. I mean, yes, it's the fair, but it really is a celebration of us, the community.
It is, and everybody gets to showcase their groups, their, different... Yeah. Their
spotlight our Little League teams, our cheerleaders, our dancers, all of our youth squads, our Job Corps and youth challenges, all of the, and other organizations too, our nonprofits get a chance to kind of show off their swag a little bit too.
I know every year I am constantly impressed and amazed by the creativity and the different, how people can interpret a theme that I think means one thing, and people just show up and I'm blown away. So it's always
the
fun.
Beauty of art. So now, that being said, we are days away from the parade. However, if you would like to be in the parade, you're officially in the 2-minute warning to get that done.
We're getting close.
Yes.
Because people like to see that lineup nice and early.
Oh yeah, they're clamoring probably
asking.
Friday, asking for lineups and things and all that. They usually about Thursday, Friday of this week they're going to start asking.
So I mean, the official deadline is tomorrow. And I do believe that we will take entries until Friday with an additional late fee.
Okay. But avoid the late fee and avoid the headache to all of Adrienne and her staff.
Well, and
get it done today.
I mean, it's I understand things come up and things happen, but it definitely makes the process go more efficiently. And
well, it's a lot of moving parts, and then I'm sure people have preferences. Can you put me here? Can you put me there? Can you put? And so and I'm sure you do try to accommodate those requests as much as possible, but when you have 100+ floats, you're just gonna have to get what you get sometimes.
Well, and sometimes it does make sense. I do try to, obviously I'm very aware when people notify me that they have horses, we make sure we don't have walkers right behind them. I do understand how
the
this
logistics,
works.
yeah. but if you're like, well, I want to be in the front or the back, it's like, well, we'll try,
right.
But it's kind of,
And we have, different years we've had people that request the back because they want to be the grand finale, and we've had Santa on a motorcycle.
I've been in both
all kinds
parts.
Of stuff.
Yeah. I've been in the back. I've been towards the front, and it's got its good. I mean, if you're in the back, you do spend a lot of time in the wool bowl. All I'm saying is you bring a Thanksgiving meal because you could sit down and eat it and have a nice time before the parade even float moves there.
It is a little bit of a wait.
But it is cool because, everyone's excited and you see and they're waving and it's fun to do it. So you're kind of the big, the last hurrah of the parade there. So it's kind of nice. So, but please get your entries in hopefully today. But like you said, you'll try to get it through Friday, but there will be a late fee after tomorrow. Avoid that.
There is, like I said, I'm not exact because different entries are different amounts. So the late fee is not, it's not across the board. It's kind of scaled, but like I said, our goal is to get the lineup out Friday afternoon so people can have the weekend and know
and then know exactly where they're supposed to line up at the Wool Bowl there because that's a real nice thing too. They've got their assigned spots they get into and get lined up.
Right, and I've had several phone calls yesterday and asking what they need to bring to the Wool Bowl besides their float. And I was like, all of your patience, because I was like, please be patient with us. It all works out.
If you got kids, something to keep them occupied.
I was like, bring them water. We have,
sack of oranges and some burritos, stuff like that. Yeah. Because, they'll be out there a few hours waiting for the parade to start because they get up there at like sunrise and they'll be sitting until 10 a.m. when the parade starts there. So.
It is. I mean, it's a thing. People do it. People have their traditions of how they handle parade day. So.
Absolutely. And then, of course, people get their spots. And then, of course, right after the parade's open, mosey on down to the fairgrounds because the fair is officially open. And come on out, and there'll be livestock shows, a concert that night, night one of the fair, and, of course, commercial building rides, weather permitting, everything else will be going and just all week of fun.
I know. We're supposed to have good weather next week.
I think so, too. I was kind of nosing through, and it looks like it's going to be kind of like this week. A lot of mid-90s.
A little bit of fall feeling. But
cool mornings, warm
no
afternoons. And so, although I don't mind a little rain, just as long as it's not like during a concert or something, like overnight or something to kind of tamp down dust and things.
Yeah.
Maybe something like
overnight would be good, but during the day, it makes people nervous.
Yeah. Of course, if you need to boost up commercial building, it's like, hey, let's order rain. Everyone will go to the commercial building.
It is a good place to hang out.
Hey, 4-H eats to sell some ice cream sales. Let's turn up the rain. But folks, come on out to the parade beginning at 10 a.m. this Monday. I always want to, as I mentioned last hour with Sal, if you have any questions or want a schedule of who's playing when or what's happening on what day, the Eastern New Mexico State Fair's website has everything you need there, www.enmsf.com. And there's an entertainment tab that tells you what nights and what times, all the different, including the daily variety acts that kind of make their rounds around the fairgrounds. And then, of course, the acts on the main stages each night. That's there. Of course, your schedule events for livestock shows and when they are, to what time Education Building opens up the rides. All of that information is there in the website there. If you need a fair book for the rules for livestock and stuff, all right there on the website. So.
And all of the rules for the parade are there. They're very standard. Don't throw anything. You can gently hand out candy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But, I mean, it's
a safety thing. We get it. We want to have fun, but unfortunately, there's been issues in the past that has tampered in on the fun of doing the parades, and so we try to mitigate that as much as possible.
Absolutely. And like our participants have been so good over the years. They walk it down, they hand it out, they have their wagons full of candy and swag. And,
they get it. They get it's like, we're just trying to have fun here. We'll get the candy too, but please don't be chucking it from your floats there. That just creates confusion that's unnecessary sometimes. So,
right.
Yeah. But come have fun.
I know, and it should be a beautiful day to celebrate our
Monday's
community.
supposed to be like sunny and 90, and it should be a beautiful day on Monday. So get you a good spot, get you a lawn chair, maybe an umbrella if you don't find a shady spot. And it'll be good to go there. So
I know. I feel like you go through all the seasons that Monday morning. It's chilly when it starts, and it's pretty warm when it's over.
That's kind of the start. Yeah, that's this week. Yeah, you're freezing, wearing mittens and everything, and by noon you're like in shorts and t-shirts.
Yep.
So, yeah.
That's how you know it's time for the fair.
Must be fair season. So thank you as always,
yes.
And we'll see you. I think I have you in. Are you back in later this week, or is it? I think
Leslie's going to come in. I'm always like on call for support.
We may see you. But
we'll see.
I think you're right now. You say Leslie's back in there this week, and I think we're just covering fair.
Yeah. She knows it all.
She's got it all. And just can't remember it all at once. Yeah. That's usually my problem. So thank you very much, and we'll see you later.
Thank you.
All right, it is 9:28. Let's do this. Let's pause for news and Hannity update, and then we're going to talk Historical Society with Amy McVeigh-Teas. And I believe John LeMay is with her as well. So don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Cirillo. Roswell firefighters rescued 2 people from a burning house Saturday morning in East Roswell. A 60-year-old man and 61-year-old woman were found inside the home by firefighters conducting a search when they got to the scene in the 1100 block of East Walnut Street at about 8:30 in the morning. Both victims were taken to a local hospital and then transferred to another hospital elsewhere for further treatment. The cause of the fire has not yet been determined. The fire remains under investigation by the RFD Fire Marshal's office. Hundreds of thousands of additional New Mexico residents will soon be eligible for food stamps as the state expands its Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program benefit eligibility. SNAP recipients aged 60 and older and those with disabilities will see their state supplement go up. The minimum benefit will go up from $32 to about $100 a month. The change will impact more than 26,000 households statewide. The increase will cost the state about $14 million. An HCA spokesperson says New Mexico will use state general funds to pay for the increase. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Waking up on the right side. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
Oh, you'll be very, very happy to know that 9 high-ranking former national security and military officials who signed a letter on Sunday endorsing Vice President Harris and a run for office included Leon Panetta, who actually said that the attack used by Israel against Hezbollah, the pagers that went on, he called it a terror attack. But you got Panetta signing the letter, Clapper signing the letter, Brennan signing the letter. Gee, what a shock. 4 years ago, they're the same people that dismissed the very real, infamous Hunter Biden laptop as Russian disinformation, and none of them knew a damn thing about the laptop. None of them even looked at the laptop.
From coast to coast, from sea to shining sea, it's the Sean Hannity Show.
War, inflation, and recession. Did you know that experts call gold the everything hedge? Gold goes far beyond hedging against inflation or the stock market. It can potentially even guard you against today's wars in Ukraine and the Middle East. Not to mention the great economic danger of a recession coming, which is what we're all worried about. And that's why gold just hit another record high. And central banks, they just keep buying gold at a record pace. It's Linda here. Join me and thousands of people who have called Goldco the #1 rated gold company. It's time you diversify your money with time-tested safe haven assets, physical gold and silver. Today, Goldco is offering our listeners up to 8 years in free IRA fees plus up to 8% in bonus silver with a qualified account. Call 855-815-GOLD for free IRA fees, free bonus silver, and a free gold and silver info kit. What are you waiting for? Call 855-815-GOLD. That's 855-815-GOLD. Do it today. You can't wait.
So your pecans aren't as big and bountiful as they used to be? Well, what would Jim Gill do?
Hi, this is Ben from Roswell Seed Company. Few people knew as much about pecans as Jim Gill. And if he were here today, he'd tell you it was time to fertilize. He'd tell you just what you need and show you how to use it. Then he'd make some joke about your neighbors making fun of your nuts.
So when there's trouble with your pecans, head for Roswell Seed Company and ask them, what would Jim Gill do?
You are 13.8% more likely to die on your birthday. Think about that the next time you want to celebrate your birthday month. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 32 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico, Amy McVeigh-Tejas and John LeMay back with us this morning. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Morning.
How are y'all doing today?
We're good.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yay.
Kind of, it's like busy, but it feels like it's the lull between the busy, like right now with the fair next week, and of course we got a book fair coming up, but there's just like, it's like we just did a bunch of stuff. We just had Heritage Dinner, and I just feel like, and then
Museum
other events
Day.
going on, Museum Day. It's just like we just hit like this sweet spot. It's like, okay, now we got 12 more things. Let's do the next 12 things. But I feel like we're like in this eye of a hurricane kind of middle.
We haven't stopped, Mike.
I know.
Huh, John? We're just going full force.
Yeah,
There's never a dull moment.
By the way, big thank you to supporting with the Humane Society and the gift basket.
Yay!
That her and Elaine put together an amazing gift basket.
Sweet Stacy too. I'll give a shout out to her too.
And big
It's a group
thank you,
effort.
and it looked beautiful, and it went for money. I didn't hear the final numbers, but they made some money, so it was a win-win for them. So it was good.
And it was great to see the Youth Challenge kids over there.
Yeah.
The girls. I saw a post about the girl power. I'm like, you go, a bunch of girls over there doing the work or whatever.
They had a good
That's
crowd.
great.
Food was good. The entertainment was good. It was a good time was had by all. So.
That's good.
But Historical Society is busy. We got a lot going on here. Of course, we just had Museum Day here. But the big thing we're kind of turning now is our historic book fair here in October. This event, we do this? We used to do it once a year, sometimes twice a year, right? It just kind of depends on need a little bit. But this is an event we do because we get donations. The Historical Society we have our archives facility. That's one of our main. We are the kind of the purveyors, the stewards of the J.P. White home, but also the archives facility is another major part of the Historical Society. And we get donations. People give us rare, out-of-print books, things like that, and amazing stuff that we keep in the archives to preserve for all eternity here. However, sometimes we get doubles and triples and quadruples of things. And so we get these books that are very rare and out of print, but we got like 6 copies of them. And our space is very limited in the archives facility. So we would love to be able to keep all 6 copies, but we just can't. So we'll keep 1 or 2 copies, and we keep the good ones. You ain't getting the good ones. Sorry. We're keeping the good. Now, if there's more good ones, you can have the other good ones, but the good ones, we're keeping the good ones. So, but we keep the good ones, and then we offer those others up for other collectors and folks that like to own those kinds of materials. And that way we'll have our little book fair, and you can come and kind of rummage through and see all of our books here, and then take them home for your own collection. And then, of course, all the money raised goes back to the historical side, and all the great work we do, our 4th grade tours, all that stuff that goes back to that kind of stuff. So we are very appreciative of the people that donate. But sometimes when we got too much of it, we got to do this. So that's what we do. Now, like I said, we don't sell or get rid of anything we don't already have copies of. This is not us, having a fire sale and selling off the archives of the, because you always get these stories every time. It's like, what are you doing? This people don't. No. We're keeping the good stuff. This is literally, we've got this book here, and we've got 7 copies of this book, and we do not need 7 copies of this book. So let's keep 2 copies, and we'll sell the other 5. And that's what we kind of do here. So, But John, what's just because this is John's kind of you're the one who says yes, these books can go. These books are no, we need to keep those. What's kind of like I'm just curious what some of the kind of comments you hear that we can dispel right now.
Well, yeah. First of all, so there's a acquisition sheet that everybody forms, and you check a box that says you want it back if we don't want it, or we can sell it, we can throw it away, and it's, all the books that just came in too are new ones. I mean, new in the sense that they were donated within the last year, and we always check the paperwork, and I haven't seen anyone check it that they want anything back.
But if they do, then we honor that wish, and then they don't go to the book auction.
Exactly. Yeah.
But if you don't, then we do as we see fit here.
Yeah.
And trust me, things that need to be kept are kept. Literally, the things that are sold at the book fair are things that we do have 3 and 4 and 5 copies of. It's just stuff that we and keep giving us. We are so blessed that folks keep giving us these things. So please don't let this deter you from doing that. We do appreciate it, but there are some things where we only can keep so many forks or so many books or so many of these types of things.
We've even received a couple of rare books that we didn't have copies of races away. Yeah. So we love.
You will not see those at the book fair.
That's for sure.
Unless you want to go down and look at them in the archives, but you will not be able to take one home with you.
When John's eyes light up, he's got that little inventory in his head. He's like, oh yeah, it's fun to see.
Yeah, it kind of is there Holy Grail finds out there? Is there any books you're been on the hunt for?
A book we don't have that we should have is the biography of J.J. Hagerman.
Okay.
Because I saw it for sale in a bookstore in Las Vegas, and I didn't even know it existed, but we definitely don't have it. We have, the when Hagerman met the train book about the town, but we don't have his biography. So if anybody has that, and
bring it to the book fair on October or sooner.
Yeah, because we need a copy in our archives. That's one book I know of that we don't have.
Okay. So there's our Holy Grail, quest of the week. The biography of Mr. Hagerman.
Yeah.
Certainly in the town of Hagerman, there's got to be a copy of it.
I bet there is. I bet there is. That's for sure.
But the event is going to take place on Saturday, October 12th, and it will be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Archives facility there on Lee, 200 North Lee. And, of course, you will be there signing books. You got your newest book that you'll be signing, and folks can get copies of. And this one, we talked a little bit about this book. This one's got some stories in it.
Yeah, so this is a book on La Llorona, the Wailing Woman. So there's been a few La Llorona books in the past, but they were very scholarly. They were really delving into the hidden meaning of La Llorona, and I think most people just want the story.
Sure, the history, but where the historical meets the wise tale meets the what is the alleged the boogeyman or whatever the surrounding stuff, and this book is full of that kind of the separating the what happened or what this meant versus what, and a lot of times when we turn into these things, I think you and I talked about this last time, a lot of times people do these things just because they want to be left alone. Yeah. It's like, we create a boogeyman because we're tired of people showing up. You know what I mean? But that's what the book talks. So if you want to, please get a copy of the book there, or if you already got a copy, come get it autographed, and you'd be happy to chit-chat, or any of John's books, not just his latest book, but all of them.
Yeah, and we'll have the New Mexico Book of Witches there, too. That sells insanely well in northern New Mexico.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was a hot seller during the museum day.
During museum day, we sold almost all of them.
I think John stayed in that corner all day.
Yeah.
Well,
with raffle tickets and books, he stayed busy. We all did.
Because that does cross genres. I mean, you get historical buffs, but then you get your witchcraft and Halloween fans that were going to equally like that type of stuff, And
that cover's beautiful.
Yeah,
it looks good. It is good. I mean,
well, and it's just a topic where people are drawn to that. It's like ooh, witches, witchcraft. There's reason there's all kinds of movies and books about Salem.
It draws to the eye, and then once they start looking, then it gets.
Sure.
It's hot item.
But it's order. But what I love about it's where you meet the historical, the wise tale. Again, the same thing. You get into, especially when you talk about witchcraft and stuff. Half of that is just people not knowing the science sometimes. You know what I mean?
That's true.
And it's chalked up to witchcraft.
That's true.
And so I'm sure you get a little bit of unexplained and explained in those books there, too. Is Donna going to be at this book fair?
I don't believe so,
Okay.
but we'd love for her to surprise us and show up. We
She's
can
more
always
welcome
hope.
to. She wants
That's
to
right.
show up, but,
She's been very busy down there, but we can only hope. Anything's
Okay.
possible. I guarantee you one thing: if she can be there, she'll be there.
But
She never know.
I highly recommend check out some of Donna Blake Burchell's books while you're there as well. She's got her Wicked Women series, so when you're done witching, reading about witches, you can read about wicked women. And some ghost town books too in there too. So,
And she has a new one called Scoundrels. New
Oh,
Mexico
yes.
Scoundrels.
And we have that book. If people are listening and thinking, because we hear this a lot, Donna, oh, I think I've got all of John's, books and
I don't
Donna's.
think you do.
Well, first of all, we want to challenge because I'm sure they don't. But that's a great new book for Donna, too. So if you have a lot of Donna's, that is a new one. And we do have it in stock.
Yeah.
We also do still have Dewey Johnson books
Okay.
autographed and still
For
in
baseball
stock. That's
fans
a
and
rarity. I mean, we have autographed. He was so great. So I just happened to think about that. If you missed that event,
and
we
that's-
still have his autographed
And
books,
that's
too.
baseball history as much as New Mexico history, and Joe Bauman obviously history there too.
What
But,
history.
that's a great that's another great story. And so another aspect, of course, we'll come ask about it at the book fair here. Of course, if you're looking for Elvis Fleming books and stuff, we do have those and all too. But at this book fair, like I said, if it's those double copies of those rare out of print books, if you're looking for those, if you're a book collector yourself, or maybe there is a particular book you remember from you were a kid, and you're like, man, I would love to have a copy of that to read to my grandkids or something like that. Take a gander. Come to the book fair. Are we going to have our old display books available? Like sometimes we get old books that are just old books. They're not valuable.
Yeah, and books that people like to rip out the pages.
Yeah,
and
use them
just
for
the
arts and
covers.
crafts or
Yes.
decor
Yeah,
stuff.
we've got some of those. Yeah,
Okay.
we do.
I love that because I love when we're at Holiday Magic because guaranteed some of those women from Holiday Magic have come to our book.
Yeah.
I love that it's, we're partnering together on you guarantee that's going to happen.
Well, also, to me, in some weird way, that also extends history. Okay,
Yes,
it's not its intended purpose,
right?
But what's it going to evoke when someone sees that someday and say, "What's that about?" And then,
Triggers.
Exactly.
It's true.
So I love it. And plus it's repurposing. That's always a good thing. Anytime you can find a new life or something that it's reached the end of it, that's a good thing. So I love all that. But the book fair is something if you've never been to one, come make October 12th your first one. It'll be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Archives Facility, 200 North Lee. They're going to be the $5 mystery bags, as always.
We'll have some fun.
Not forget that. And that's kind of so you pay $5, you get a bag of books. We guarantee you're going to get at least your $5 back.
And you can't be digging around in there.
Oh yeah, no Lixies, no Dixies, no Swapsies.
Throw tickets.
Yeah, you can't lick it and dib it. You can't rummage through it. You can't do the old switcheroo. None of that. You get what you get. But we do have the $5 mystery bags, and all of them will be guaranteed worth more than $5. But who knows what you get? That's the mystery bag here. As well.
So, John, can you give them a teaser on your new book?
Yes. Oh yeah, about La Llorona.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm jumping all
Well,
over
and
now.
a new one.
Oh, the other new one. Yeah.
Can you give
Not
a
the
little
new one,
teaser?
but the new
The new one. You just give me a little hint.
This one's got it doesn't even have new book smell yet. It's so
No, it's not finished yet, but it's these newer books I'm doing are about 186 pages, which isn't much actually. And
yeah, but how many hours of research does it take for you to write 186 pages?
Oh, that's not much.
Like I was saying, there's probably 100 hours of research for 186
Seriously.
pages of probably, and I'm probably lowballing it. I have no idea.
I never ever tally up the hours, but I usually get them done in about a month.
Okay,
and that's about it. Yeah.
So, gee whiz curious. Now I'm just gee whiz curious. So if it take about a month. Is that 8 hours a day every day, or is that like twice a week, 8 hours? Like, how often are you doing that?
Maybe 2 hours a day.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So a little bit each day. All right, I was just was curious. I'm like, because I don't know if you go home and then you're like to the office, and then he barrels, blocks himself in.
Yeah.
And I picture a typewriter. I know no one uses typewriters anymore, but he's got one in there just because. That's
just saying.
I feel like all writers should have a typewriter. Even though they don't use them anymore.
Yeah.
But anyway, but yes, so I'm sorry, I hijacked that.
Oh, that's
got
okay.
to talking about that. Please continue about the
Well, I
news
think
book.
the one I'll have done in time for Holiday Magic is, I'm pretty sure I'm going to call it Legend and Lore of Chavez County.
Okay.
And no aliens, and it'll be more rural folklore, cowboy type stuff.
Okay. So would this kind of cover the time period when Chavez County was Dominus Ominous and said, you are no longer Lincoln County, you were Chavez County?
Oh, I'll have to do a little bit. Lincoln County, too.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Excellent.
It's exciting.
Yeah, because by the way, when Billy the Kid was doing Billy the Kid, we were in Lincoln County.
Yeah.
It is Lincoln County. So,
That's right.
yeah,
That's right.
You might learn that. Come to the historical site. We'll teach you some things.
We've got some great new volunteers around the archives.
Yeah.
A lot of activity going on.
Absolutely. And by the way, please share this. We are open by appointment. If you want to get a tour with your family, or if you got family in town, or you want you got a youth group or anything like that, we'll give you a customized tour that's just for you and your group.
For sure.
And all you got to do is give us a call, reach out to us, and set up a time that works for everybody, and we'll make sure we have our docents there and ready to give you a bang-up tour of and it's available. We don't have set hours per se, but we'll make appointments. We'll get you there. Of course, we have our museum days, and certain times we'll be open for the day. But we're open by appointment anytime. If you want to come and view it on a Tuesday, we'll make that happen.
If we had set hours, I don't think we would have been able to have done half of what we've done.
It does
all
give us the
summer we were
flexibility.
doing tours for school kids over the summer. We just hosted Leadership Roswell. Just got a call about doing a school group next week,
Oh, yeah.
talking about some school
April will
history
be here
clubs.
before you know it, or May.
And
March actually this year,
we're
yeah.
actually doing things a little bit earlier, but
Yeah.
we've had a calls, and I think there's really a good spark. Sometimes when things in our world are getting a little dark, I want to encourage and let people know our mere intention is to be a beacon of light. We certainly focus on the youth of generations, which, by the
Absolutely.
way, we just got a $300 donation yesterday to allow us additional scholarships coming up.
How nice
that
is that?
means a lot to us. And if
Absolutely
people
does.
think we're sitting around not doing much, let me tell you something. We're involved with New Mexico Youth Challenge Academy more than we ever have. That is a spark of ray of sunshine for our future. We were involved since they've gotten there. We're going to be involved till they graduate. They're going to
Absolutely.
get school tours. They're going to help us around. And I'm going to tell you something. That's how we roll.
Well,
That's very, very important.
And don't misunderstand. They help us too, and that's the
Yes,
part
they
that gets me. Is yes, we're able to do these things, but at the same time, they get to use this as they're learning to find their way into life, learning responsibility, learning these different things that through Job Corps, and so. It is awesome that
you challenge.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. They may be
They're
part
all
of that.
amazing. Every one of these
They
groups,
are. That is right.
Titles to me they all do great stuff.
But I just mentioned You Challenge because we've got scholarships coming up in December, but we'll do more. That never stops.
Yeah.
So we do 2 cycles for New Mexico Youth Challenge Academy.
But it's
then
a win-win.
we do the high
'cause
school.
We can't
high
do what we
schools.
can't.
No.
Without Youth Challenge, we wouldn't be able to pull off the things we pull off.
That is
either.
true.
And so it is a partnership in there. But it's so. And those youth are amazing kids. You go and they see and you could see that they take pride in what they do and it makes you feel good. It makes you feel good. It's like, all right, we got kids that are making that difference, and it's great to see. And I'm sure these are what Amy does. What Amy does is the day she's having, because I'm sure you have your days where you want to punch walls and can't. She'll have one probably later today. But
you know what? You know what? If we have that day, let's be clear. We're going to bring on more sunshine at the end of the day, which reminds me,
those
Mike.
moments like You Challenge change that.
Yeah.
And you see those
gosh,
moments, you're
yes.
like, it was worth it. It was worth
we'll
pulling
get
up with
an
so-and-so.
update. We got an
crap.
update because it's crazy, Mike. Some of our scholarship kids are now married with kids, and I'm like, okay, like I almost feel like a great grandma. We got an update. Some of our kids are studying abroad. We've got one dynamic individual. She's going to be a doctor. I think she's living in Australia, and she's got 2 kids. And I'm like, oh my goodness, those are our kids, and they're flourishing. And then it's the next generation.
And it does make you feel good that our little part played a role in where they're at today.
So, friendly reminder, if you haven't been updated lately on what's going on, because I'm going to be honest, I can't keep up with John and all the books he's writing, and if y'all can't keep up with all the great things we're doing, I want to encourage individuals, all you have to do is become a member of this historic society
that
for
as minimal
as $30,
yeah.
and you're going to get all these updates. You're going to get things in the mail. You're going to see our newsletter, because if you don't know,
Absolutely.
you don't know, but I'm going to be honest, I think you're missing out on all the great
and we have
things that
different
are happening.
sponsorships
Oh,
levels.
yes.
So if you
30
and obviously the bigger package, the bigger perks and things. But yeah, for as little as $30 a month or $30 a year, you can support the Historical Society. But corporate levels and all that too.
For sure. Business.
Another way to support too is we do have that archives facility that you can house. According to the fire marshal, 75 people. But you know, but if you've got to have a small meeting, even if you want to have a meal there, because we do have a kitchen there, we can rent that out. Or maybe if you're having a small quinceañera, birthday party, or wedding reception. By the way, you know, and now that we're getting into the fall, it's going to be beautiful picture time again. That time of year with the fall and the colors changing. You know, certain times of year, spring and fall, right around the season change. That's usually the most beautiful time to kind of hang out on the property there. So.
We're going to start seeing Danielle and Stephanie and all of them more often with all those pictures.
Yeah, because the leaves will fall and then the holiday lights come up right after that. So it's kind of a pretty time of year for.
That's right.
You know, the only time it matches is when we get our garden clubs out there and the fires are blooming and everything else in the spring here. So. But those are great ways to support. There is come in and do that, and then of course. If you want to be a volunteer, we're always looking for more people to be docents or youth groups that want to. Or if you're looking for opportunities there, please don't hesitate to reach out. We do have some great volunteers, but let's face it, a lot of them are retirees and things, and they have grandkids and lives, and they don't want to devote their whole lives to us. Imagine that. So we need more people to do that.
Well, and they're being safe, you know, through the flu season and those kinds of
things. And that's just it too. Yeah. You're older, gotta protect you, and so you know maybe they don't do it as often. So if you're looking for those kind of, and I'm telling you, being a docent's fun. It's and any age we've had as young as 10 years old doing it, all the way to 80 years old and 800 years old.
Some.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun. Families do it together. Sometimes we have the Ackerman weekend where you just have a bunch of Ackermans running around giving you tours all day.
That's right. Whether it's Ackermans, the Strangers, that's true. Whole family. That's true.
Absolutely. So please come out. Is there anything I missed? Anything?
Tomorrow is See You at the Pole Day.
Oh, thank you.
Tomorrow is See You at the Pole Day.
That was one of the main things we need to talk about.
Right.
I got wrapped up on this and all about the other stuff.
Tomorrow is See You at the Pole Day, and I called somebody yesterday, and she said, "What does that mean?" And I said, the intention is clear and simple.
Yep.
It's a time to go to a flagpole and come together to pray. So we will be at the Historical Society flagpole tomorrow. I know Father Yarrick will be there. I know Grace Community Church new pastor Nate Marsh will be there.
So
we welcome anybody.
A multi
We do, and I love it. It's the coming together. Bring your families. Walk down if you're at the Roswell Independent School District or if your office is close. Walk down. We'll start right at 9:00.
Yeah.
Jason Garcia is our board president. We start punctual on time.
Jason, when he's not helping us, he is employed with the New Mexico Military Institute. He has a military background, and he doesn't mess around when it comes to
whether
time.
he's there or not, we're going to start at 9:00.
If you're on time, you're late. That's his
right.
mindset.
Well, that's right.
So
stop by tomorrow, See You at the Pole. If you can't be there, gather and join from wherever you are. Just take a moment. A lady that just called me, Miss Jane, that's in Arizona, I guarantee you, 9:00 on the dot, she's going to be praying from Arizona. Let's just come together.
Arizona time or Mountain? No, I'm just kidding.
That's so funny. But we really want to encourage on behalf of the Historical Society. Let's come together. Let's take a moment. Let's pull together in honor of history, and let's just take a moment.
Absolutely. That's, obviously, it's a big time of year, and with the elections and everything else. Yeah, pray. Praying's praying's got a lot of power in it, and I believe in that. And I do think there's strength in numbers, and I do believe, when you do have a concentrated effort of people at one location, praying the same thing, that I don't know how all that works, but I feel like that's got a brighter beacon than maybe some of the other ones there. Like, I don't know if it shoots the email up to the top there. I don't know how that works, but I feel like it's got a little bit more power there.
That's right.
Please do a part of that. And of course, if you have any questions about anything we talked about here, RoswellNMhistory.org is our website. There you can see everything we talked about here. Order books. Christmas is around the corner. If you need Peter Hurd prints or books, John LeMay's or any of our other authors, you can do some great shopping on our website there. And we can even get autographed copies of books and things. If you give us a little heads up, we'll make sure to get those signed and sent to you and all that good stuff.
A lady just the other day picked up autographed books, and that's something I do want to mention. John is around there a lot, but it never fails. We may leave, and that's when somebody give us a call in advance, because John's around there so often, whether he's here or not, we can get his autographed books. Or if you can't keep up with him, because I can't, call the museum, and he can keep you updated on what's to come.
Well, when he's, I guess, I imagine there's in the room doing the typing in the archive facility, and he's a buff dude, so in the gym's the other third. That's the third.
There you go.
That's the pie. Catch on one of those
There you
places.
go.
So, very good. Well, thank you guys. We appreciate it.
We appreciate it.
And we'll see y'all next time. And then we're just doing our thing. So,
Doing our
good
thing.
deal.
That's right.
Thank you all. All right, it is 9:57. Let's go ahead and do a quick Wall Street business update and weather, and that should do it before we wrap up the show. Don't go away.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. A day after the Dow scored another record-high close, Wall Street opened little change this morning. Several economic reports later in the week could offer more context about where the U.S. economy stands. On Thursday, the government will offer the final revision for the U.S. economy's growth in the spring, as well as its latest weekly data on layoffs. Another report on Friday will give a look at how much U.S. consumers are spending. Shares of farm equipment maker Deere & Company were down roughly 1% before the opening bell after former President Trump threatened the company with a 200% tariff should he win the White House again if Deere exports its manufacturing to Mexico. Visa slid more than 2% following media reports that the credit card issuer was going to be sued by the Department of Justice for penalizing customers who use other payment processors. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Cirillo. Roswell firefighters rescued 2 people from a burning house Saturday morning in East Roswell. A 60-year-old man and 61-year-old woman were found inside the home by firefighters conducting a search when they got to the scene in the 1100 block of East Walnut Street at about 8:30 in the morning. Both victims were taken to a local hospital and then transferred to another hospital elsewhere for further treatment. The cause of the fire has not yet been determined. The fire remains under investigation by the RFD Fire Marshal's office. Hundreds of thousands of additional New Mexico residents will soon be eligible for food stamps as the state expands its Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program benefit eligibility. SNAP recipients aged 60 and older and those with disabilities will see their state supplement go up. The minimum benefit will go up from $32 to about $100 a month. The change will impact more than 26,000 households statewide. The increase will cost the state about $14 million. An HCA spokesperson says New Mexico will use state general funds to pay for the increase. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. Tropical storm Helene forming in the Caribbean after bringing heavy rains and big waves to the Cayman Islands. Forecasters warn the storm is expected to strengthen into a major hurricane. En route to the southeast U.S., hurricane watches now in effect for Florida's Tampa Bay and from Inglewood to Indian Pass. President Biden delivered his final speech at the United Nations General Assembly. White House correspondent Greg Cluxton with that report.
Addressing the UN for the last time, the president touched on the world's major crises, including Ukraine's fight for freedom against Russia.
We cannot look away, and we will not let up on our support for Ukraine.
And he renewed his call for peace in the Middle East.
Full-scale war is not in anyone's interest.
On the subject of his decision not to seek re-election, Mr. Biden told